Western Districts, in fact, kicking to the school end, the Vulture Street end of the ground, the East Brisbane School in the background, and Wiston Grange kicking to the scoreboard or western end here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. The boundary umpires moving out to the centre of the square. Umpire Kevin Simmons has the ball in his hand, and we're just about to get underway here at the Gabba. Start of play in the 1977 QAFL Grand Final. Western Districts and Wiston Grange, West's in the maroon shorts, or maroon strip in fact, and Wiston Grange in white.
And listen to note, Peter, I have never yet seen a player line up outside the boundary line for the first bounce.
Short down there on the boundary line. Here we go, the 1977 QAFL Grand Final. First ruck won by Rushbrook of Wiston Grange. Clark in there, the centre half forward, has the first kick in the game. Out towards the grandstand wing, where it's marked by young Rand on the centre wing position for Wiston Grange. Long kick up towards the half forward line. Jewell, in fact, got hands to ball but couldn't hold the mark. But a mark here up the ground to Gary Dickey, resting in the pocket. An explosive player, Dickey. Certainly not frightened to throw his weight around. There's not that much of him, but he certainly is not frightened to get in there and play it tough.
Well, he's a rugged sort of a player, Peter. He's always goes in hard through the packs for the ball. And there's the goal. A beautiful kick. First goal on the board to Wiston Grange.
That'll give them a tremendous fillip here at the Gabba to get the first goal on the board. So Wiston Grange, in fact, draw first blood virtually at the 45-second mark of the opening term here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. So it's Wiston Grange 1 goal and Western Districts yet to score. The ball back in the centre in the hands of field umpire Kevin Simmons. Moving in for the centre bounce. Once again won by Rushbrook. Robinson has the ball. Hand passes out towards Moore, but the pass is spilled. Rushbrook coming through, slippers of the way where Guildford now seems to be playing on a half-forward flank. Noel is in the action. Guildford has the chance but can't pick the ball up cleanly. It's scooped out there by Robinson of West. White has the chance but is bundled out of the way now. Selwyn Short pushes the ball through now where Western Districts captain Matteo has the run. Hand scoops the ball out cleverly towards the Western Districts centre half-forward position. Robinson it is there, can't get the ball off the ground. It's slipped up towards the Western Districts rover Ian Cole now, trying to get away from the Wiston Grange defence in Toy. White is on the ball and will be paid a push in the back. Ross White, number 17 of Western Districts.
Peter, you mentioned Guildford on the half-forward flank. I think he's still in the half-back line.
Ball up towards the forward pocket now for Western Districts, but over the boundary line out of bounds in the midway between the forward pocket and the half-forward flank for Western Districts in the west attacking zone. Boundary throw-in. Matteo against Rushbrook. Matteo gets the benefit of the boundary throw-in there. It's on the deck there. Bizzle hand passes away to Rushbrook, and Grange have started very quickly down towards the grandstand side of the ground now, but over the two players contesting the mark and out of bounds on the centre wing. The Wiston Grange Noel have certainly started with a fair degree of vigour.
Well, that's true. They've got 1 goal on the board and they're holding West's out up till now, so it's an interesting clash up till this point.
White wins the tap for Western Districts. The big fellow from Ainslie in Canberra playing his first season here in Brisbane. Stacks on the mill there. It can't be picked up by Grange, but Backwell now in the clear, the Grogan medal winner from Western Districts. Up towards Gillespie, number 2 from West, couldn't mark the ball. Cole has the chance now. Gets boot the ball across towards centre half forward where Hector Robinson is down. Ducks under one tackle but is caught with the ball. Play on calls the umpire. Rodney Miller hand pass to Matteo. Out towards Cole. He's clear. Will shoot for goal. And that's a great left foot kick. And Western Districts have replied here at the 3-minute mark of the first term. Bobby Skilton.
Well, a good piece of teamwork there by Western Districts. They used their pace to advantage. I did notice that, when Backwell went near the ball, that every Wiston Grange player, really had tried to put pressure on him, but he eventually got the ball down, and it was a teamwork goal. Back in the
centre square. Sorry, Bob.
With umpire Simons, it's Rushbrook who gets the ball clear. Toys over the top of the ball, gets a shove out, but call play on by umpire Simons. There's a pack of players forming, and umpire Simons has no option but to bounce it once again. From the bounce, it's White and Rushbrook. It's Rushbrook up high with a big knock straight towards Clark. Clark too slow to get rid of the ball that time. Good defensive play by the Western Districts defence on that occasion. And we find a Western District free kick in the person of Peter Taylor, the Grogan medal winner. Taylor with a long kick down the centre of the ground, and Diggy Mateo up from the back of the pack. A glorious mark. He plays on quickly, going wide, looking for Rod Mill. It goes over Mill's head. It's Sel Short who comes into Shepherd. Mill gets clear of the ball. A kick down towards the full forward, and it's a good mark taken at full forward by Robert Hodgson, right in the goal square. Possibly bringing up 2 goals within as many minutes for the Western District side. He kicks truly, and it's straight through the centre for Hudson's first kick and Western District second. Well, they replied very quickly, Peter.
Yes, they have, and Western Districts find themselves a goal behind after about the first minute of play. Have struck back quickly now to put 2 quick goals on the board through Ian Cole, and that glorious piece of play there, well marked by Hodgson in the square. The ball delivered correctly to him, and he was able to take that safe chest mark and put the Bulldogs' second major on the board.
Peter, we saw Western Districts at their best there. They moved the ball around in hand passing particularly well, and eventually got the ball out into the open to be able to kick down to the full forward Hodgson to take that brilliant mark.
Very noticeable there that Barry Clark, the Grange centre half forward, very slow to get rid of that ball. He got a perfect piece of delivery there from Rushbrook straight out of the centre bounce, and he was caught very quickly by the West's half back line. Ball in the centre now, won again by Rushbrook, and West are winning the rucks. The kick from Backwell is marked by Neville White, who's down from centre half back, now down towards the centre wing position. White a long kick, a wobbly kick actually, up towards the half forward line, still in the square. Staff knocks it down. Grange have the chance through Hunter, turns around, a very quick player, Jeff Hunter, and a right foot pass across to Robinson, the captain coach. Plays on quickly, and that's good football up to Richard Rushbrook.
Brilliant football, Peter, and this is both sides, both concentrating on attack, and they're going to produce some brilliant moves here this afternoon.
Richard Rushbrook now about 35 metres out from goal. There's a reasonable chance here. We'll aim for the goal. Straight through the middle, and that's 4 scoring shots and 4 goals on the board, and you can't complain about that. That's very good football from both these sides in the opening 5 minutes of the 1977 Grand Final here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. Rushbrook bringing up the Gorillas' replying score for the Grange, and they are now equal with Western Districts, 2 goals apiece. Back to the centre of the ground to field umpire Kevin Simmons. And plenty of action here, and as we've said before the game, the emphasis will be on attack from both these sides today here in the cricket ground. Won again by Rushbrook, and Grange are certainly winning the centre bounces handsomely. Ball is on the deck there, can't be picked up by either side. Scrambly play, Rushbrook gets boot to ball now. Craven has the drop on Crane it is. Robinson has the chance, under the ball. Scoops it out now. Hand pass here to Crane, ducks around Guile. Will shoot for goal. That's the Gorillas' 3rd goal, and that's good football from Wilston Grange. 3 goals to 2 goals here at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Bobby Skilton.
Up to date, Peter, we've found that each centre bounce. Rushbrook has clearly got the higher leap than White, and has got the ball forward for Wilston Grange each time. Robinson and Dickey and the other smaller players have continually kept the ball coming down the ground with quick movement of the ball, but it has started with Rushbrook in the centre, although this time it's O'Shea who will line up against White in the centre bounce. From the bounce, it goes towards White. He gets the knock forward, but it can't get taken by Cole. He knocks it out towards Heck Robinson. Robinson under pressure. It's taken now by Taylor, who puts a wobbly-looking kick towards Kamali. He fails to take the mark. Staff comes through for the Western District side, hotly pursued by Nev White at centre half back. Picked up by Kamali. He walks back with the left, gets the left foot onto the ball. Called play on by the umpire as it's kicked clear by Peter Long. Taken down the ground. Called play on by umpire Simons as Hunter picks up the ball, drives the ball down towards Clark. It's punched away and taken now by Craven. Craven's wide kick goes over the boundary line and out of bounds on the half-back flank for Western Districts, under a lot of pressure on that occasion, and Craven chose to go straight to the boundary.
Boundary thrown here. White gets the ruck tap away there. Jewell coming at the last moment. The ball is on the deck again, but Ben Sully, the ruck rover from West, gets the kick up where Toy is on the half-forward flank for Wilston Grange, and his kick across now towards the centre half-forward position, almost marked there by Rand. Down towards Graham Jewell now. The big fella moves around. His kick is almost retarded there by the Western Districts player. Jewell backing up cleverly here at this stage. Taylor, though, is in defence for Western Districts. Gets the ball up to White. White towards the centre position now where it's Gillespie. Here's a quick player. He's moving away from Bizzle. A left foot kick up towards the half-forward line. Backwell has the chance but didn't take that mark. And it's a Wilston Grange player, but a free kick, I think, at this stage. No, out of bounds. Yes, free kick. Free kick to Robert Hodgson it is, who's out from full forward. And he'll have a chance now to kick towards the West attacking zone.
It's been a great fast game so far, Peter, and both sides have been moving the ball around the field in really great attack. It's really football at its best.
Unfortunately for Western District, though, it's out in the fall as John Harris puts the ball back into play for the Western District side. He decides to go straight up the centre of the ground, punched away by White, almost taken by Cole, taken now by Nev White. He forces the ball straight up the ground, not a good kick, and it must be a free kick now as we see Brian Moore, the Wiston Grange wingman, who gets the ball. He goes onto his left foot straight up towards half forward, and it's all Wiston Grange as we see their captain John Robinson take the easiest of chest marks. Robinson about 45 metres out from goal, directly in front. It's a long kick, but unfortunately it's offline and through for 1 point. That's the first behind of the game, with Wiston Grange now 3 goals won, leading West 2 goals straight.
And I thought, Bob, that for a captain coach, he took that kick pretty quickly.
Put back into play now, and it's punched down to the ground, taken by Robinson. A quick handball across to Clark, taken now by Moore. Moore coming straight down the ground, a long kick by Moore, but again it's offline to bring up the second behind for Wiston Grange. Quick play by Robinson to get that handball over to his wingman coming past. They're teaming together far more than West at the moment, Peter.
Yes, they are, and they've got the better of the play in the opening 10 minutes here of the first quarter of the Brisbane Australian Rules Grand Final for 1977. The ball now on the centre wing position in front of the Leslie Wilson stand, where the majority of the public are seated. It's one of the fastest wingmen in Brisbane, in Robinson, who has the chance, kicks the ball up here where 2 players fly from West. It's not good football. Kamali and Robinson, the offenders there. Dickey comes out of the pack, bumps into his own man White, kicks his boot off as well as the ball. It's marked here by Brian Moore, who is just that little bit taller than Rodney Mill, and Moore takes the mark, which will allow the Wilson Grange side to go further into attack. A long penetrating torpedo punt from Moore up towards a full forward position. Richard Rushbrook drops a mark. Jewell has the chance, but he's smothered at the last minute by the Western District's defender. It'll be a penalty free kick here to West fullback Randall Black.
Noticed, Peter, that Jewell and Rushbrook are changing at full forward again. The ruck's changing at that full forward line.
That's right, and we really thought before the game that Wilson Grange would have to do something about the rucks to stop the dominance that we expected West would exert over this game. Ben Solly on the ball now for the Dogs. Kicks up towards the centre wing position on the outer side of the ground in front of our commentary position. Selwyn Short on the half-forward line is a long way out of position now, but coming down after the kicks. Goes in hard against Guildford. Guildford has the chance. A clever player, a veteran player, 299 games today. A perfect pass to Gary Toy in the centre for the Gorillas. Toy doubles round quickly. Puts his pass up towards the half-forward line. It's intercepted there by White, but over the top to Jewell, who kicks it round now towards Rushbrook. Hit the ground before he could mark it. And it's play on, says the umpire. Well picked up one-handed by Ross White. But a free kick here to Gary Dickey. Tackled after he'd got rid of the ball by David Dial, the offender on that occasion. And a free kick to Gary Dickey, approximately 50 metres out now from the Grange goal.
Peter, we've seen some rugged clashes just over the last minute or so, and I think both teams are now starting to throw their weight into the players in the packs.
Short pass there from Dickey is not really all that effective. It's picked up there by Norrix, but his kick out of bounds. His kick to the wing, rather, is out of bounds on the full, and a penalty free kick to City Guildford, number 22 of Wilston Grange. Bobby Skilton.
Still plays with a lot of nerves at the moment as Guildford's kicking towards centre half forward. Almost a good mark by Clark, but he's put under pressure by Taylor. A handball from Dial is intercepted by Robinson. A handball across to Hunter. Hunter's long handball is taken by Rushbrook, and he's knocked right, left and centre by the Western District's defenders, and it's finally cleared by Cole. He puts the ball wide to the centre wing position. Colin Kamali misses the ball. Possibly could have been free kicked. A handball across the shields of Wilson Grange. He took a long while to kick it, but gets it in towards centre half forward, where a good diving mark is taken by Jeff Hunter. Hunter has been busy on that half forward line. Peter Taylor keeping a close check on Barry Clark at centre half forward. Hunter's kick, left foot kick, straight in towards the goal square. Close, nobody can take the mark, and it's forced through for 1 point to Wilson Grange, as we saw the Western District's defenders take the only possible way out then and say one behind is better than a possible goal.
Bob, that Jeff Hunter there, he's a match winner on his day. They'll have to contain him and keep him away from the open spaces.
Put back into play by Randall back, but a free kick has been found by umpire Kevin Simons, and it goes to White, the big ruckman for Western Districts. White kicks straight up the ground, looking for Colin Kilmorley. He couldn't take it. It's taken by White. A poor kick by White, goes straight past a number of players, picked up by Hunter. He runs around 2 players. That's handball across to Clark. Clark steadies up. A long kick by Clark. 1 point only is the result. Wiston Grange doing all the attacking at the moment. The favourites, Western Districts, are finding it very hard to get past their half-forward line. Guildford and White are good, strong defenders. Black puts the ball straight up the centre of the ground, looking for Mattia. He's in front. It could be a free kick. Called play on. A long handball with Moore and Mill fighting for the ball. Moore picks it up. A high wobbly kick towards centre half forward. Mattia's there waiting. It's knocked away by Clark of Wilson Grange. Picked up by Dial, and he's held too high. And David Dial will take the free kick at centre half back for Western Districts.
Okay, David Dial on the half-back line for the Bulldogs. It's up towards the centre wing position now. Gillespie has the chance. Will be paid a free kick for a push in the back against Ron Shields, number 21, the wingman from Wilson Grange. His kick, Gillespie's kick rather, up towards the half-forward line, where Hodgson's a long way out from goal now. Has 1-2 grabs but can't hold it. It's pushed away now by Lansdowne, and a free kick against Colin Kilmorley to Wilson Grange fullback John Lansdowne. Play, I think, will settle down in the next 5 to 10 minutes as both these sides get their second bread, so to speak. And in fact, we see Clark there take a glorious mark a long way out from centre half forward up towards the centre wing position. The tremendous overhead mark from Barry Clark up towards Jules, knocked away there by Randall Black, who's playing the fullback role to perfection, and a clearing kick from Rodney Mill. He's a long way down from the wing. Robinson of Wilson Grange has the front position, weaves around now, clever to his left foot, and puts a pass across here to Jewel, who takes a good overhead mark at the second grab. Peter about 40 metres out from goal and an acute angle now, and I think we'll probably kick for goal. Noel McGuinness.
Peter, Robinson's a much better player for Grange since they've moved him into the attack. He's a constructive footballer, and you saw in that pass there right to Jewel, it created that attacking move.
Well, Wilson Grange, I think, at this stage obviously have the benefit of what breeze there is. It's blowing from east to west down towards the scoreboard end of the ground, as we can see by the flags on the scoreboard. And Grange at this stage of the game have in fact 8 scoring shots to 2, but not kicking goals at this stage of the match. John Robinson just taking a good overhead mark, and he'll attempt now to probably put the Grange's 4th goal on the board. Wobbly kick from Robinson is offline up towards the full-forward zone. It's picked up there by Robinson, up towards Mattia. Can't hold it. This has let Richard Rushbrook into the game. He kicks for goal. That's a bad mistake, an unfortunate mistake, I think we might say, against Ziggy Mattia. And it's given Richard Rushbrook the chance to put Wilson Grange's 4th goal on the board, and they lead 4-5. 29 to Wilson Grange, 2 goals straight, 12 points. So a 17-point lead to Wilson Grange at the 14-minute mark of the first quarter. Noel McGuinness.
Peter, at this stage, Wilson Grange are going into these packs a lot harder than West, and they've been able to force the ball into their forward line time and time again. And at this stage, they're starting to look good.
We've just seen Wilson Grange again win the centre bounce through their good ruckman there in Rushbrook. Kick down the ground is marked by Craven. He's kicking up now towards the centre wing position. 2 Wilson Grange players fly, and he's paid the mark to Ron Shields, number 21. Shields it is on the centre wing position in front of the Leslie Wilson stand. Has the chance to drive his side further into attack. Kicking up towards the half-forward line, up towards Clark, who can't mark. He's spoiled there by Mattia. Picked up now by Taylor, out towards Dial. Dial's right foot kick up towards the centre of the ground now, where it's Gillespie. Spoiled there by Crane it was at Wilson Grange, and the kick down the ground now has been marked by O'Shea. Tony O'Shea, and a 15-metre penalty against Western District's Randall Black.
Foolish football, Peter. They can't afford to give 15-metre penalties away at this stage of the game.
Well, it's very interesting. What we said before the game, Noel and Bob, was that if Wilson Grange had any chance of holding up Wests, they had in fact to stop West in the opening term, and they've certainly done that. They're leading and have had by far the better of the play in the opening 20 minutes of the match.
But they haven't given Western Districts a chance to use their pace, because they've had complete control of the ball. A good kick, and definitely either a mark or a free kick to Taylor. 15-yard penalty, or metre penalty, I should say, being paid by umpire Simmons, bringing Taylor up to the centre wing position. Taylor's kick, a wobbly-looking drop punt, and a good strong mark taken by Ben Solly in front of the pack. Solly just short of centre half forward. His kick, it's a beautiful kick by Solly, right into the goal square. Directions there, length is there, and it's a very much needed goal, and a great goal by Ben Solly.
Every bit of 65 metres that kick, Bob. That's almost from just outside the centre square there on the half-forward side of the square for West, and that's a tremendous kick from Ben Solly and very much needed goal, as you've just said.
Bit reminiscent of his game a couple of weeks ago, Peter, when he scored 3 goals for West when they were badly needed against Grange then.
Umpire Kevin Simmons, back in the centre of the ground, is doing a reasonably good job at the moment, done nothing wrong. Tapped one again by Rushbrook, and Wilson Grange are certainly dominating the centre bounces. This is much of the reason for their dominance of the game at this stage of the match. Picked up by Craven, a hurried kick up towards Staff, and Staff will take the kick, and the fight on here behind the play. And they're into it here in no uncertain fashion. Peter Taylor and Gary Dickey, Barry Clark, John Norrix, quite a few of them in here at this stage of the game. The umpire's doing the right thing. He's moving the play along now, and Western Districts are in attack here, up towards Backwell, met heavily by Guildford, up towards Selwyn Short, and a minor score only from that kick from half-forward flanker Selwyn Short, number 6, going through to bring up West's first minor score, and they trail now by 11 points. Wilson Grange 4-6 to West 3-1. And we're 22 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Peter, good umpiring by Kevin Simmons and allow the game to flow on, and the fight there fizzled out.
That's right.
We find John Robinson putting the ball forward for Wilson Grange. Coming out is Ben Solly. Solly's held too high, and he must get the free kick. Ben Solly changing in the back pocket. Solly, another beautiful kick by Solly. Straight up towards centre half forward, but it's White who comes across. He can't take possession of the ball. A hand pass forward by Daniel, taken by Robinson. Robinson comes straight down the ground. A long kick over O'Shea's head. Taken now in defence by Randall Black. Black comes to Lex to go wide around the centre wing position, looking for Rod Mill. Mill's put under a lot of pressure, and his kick goes over the line and out of bounds on the full for a resultant kick that will be taken by Sid Guildford on the half-back line for Wilston Grange. Guildford, not a good-looking kick, but covering a lot of distance, and a great mark taken by Rushbrook. Richard Rushbrook, out on the centre wing position, closer to the half-forward line, really. Rushbrook, the start of this game, playing really well. Drives it in towards the goal square. A punch down taken by Taylor. Taylor balks one way, then the other. Gets his kick clear. Coming across is Norwich for Western Districts, and he relieves the pressure for a moment with a timely mark. Goes wide to the centre wing position and finds his wingman right on the boundary line in
Selwyn Short.
Selwyn Short. Short's kick, not a good-looking kick. And Backwell, fortunately for Western Districts, gets a shove in the back by Robinson, and it's a resultant free kick. Robinson throws the ball back too far, and a 15-metre penalty once again being paid. But I think Robinson did that deliberately to hold play up. Backwell's kick going wide, looking for Kamali. Kamali leads in the race for the ball, but the bounce of the ball beats him, and it's knocked out of bounds by Peter Long in the back pocket for Wilson Grange.
Colin Kamali, who's dominated for Western Districts as centre half forward in the last 7 or 8 weeks, so far has not got into the game at all at this stage of the game, and White has certainly got the better there at centre half back for Wilson Grange. A free kick being paid to Grange centre man Gary Toy, who played on the wing for Queensland this year in the interstate games. A good, long, penetrating torpedo punt from Toy. It's up to Matea, just spilled it at the crucial moment. Craven has the chance. Hand pass now to Dial is well done. Dial is dispossessed of the ball. Dial still has the ball. Picks it up there. Rushbrook is over the top, and the umpire will move in and have a bounce.
Richard Rushbrook's had a great game up to date.
Yes,
Peter, he's kicked 2 goals and he's in everything.
Close to best on the ground at this stage of the game. Picked up by Peter Taylor, the tap out from Rushbrook. A high kick up in the air, not covering that much distance. Knocked down away from short by Guildford. Picked up now by Grange. Toy's left foot kick up towards Staff. Smothers the ball well. Hand pass out to Matea. Up towards Backwell. Backwell again up towards Dial. This is good hand passing. Had to move the ball on quickly now to Gillespie, and that's a good mark. And a 15-metre penalty against Peter Long. Knocked the ball out of Gillespie's hands, obviously to prevent any chance of a hand pass, but really no player backing up. Yeah,
Foolish play then. It puts him well within scoring range.
no player backing up on that occasion, and Long really had no reason to knock the ball away, Bob. Malcolm Gillespie, 19 years of age, plays in the half-forward flank. A very creative footballer, kicks for goal and puts it through, and Western Districts go to 4-2, trailing Wilson Grange 4-6, and we're 26 minutes into the first term here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground, the 1977 QAFL Grand Final.
Peter, this game's had everything up to date. There's been some rugged clashes. We've had a little bit of a skirmish there, and both teams are attempting to move the ball on with hand passing and keep the ball moving in attacking football. It's really great football.
From the centre bounce, Mateo up high. The ball goes towards Hunter. It's taken by Backwell, though. Backwell with good play. A long kick down towards centre half forward. Coming across was Gillespie. He couldn't take the mark. It's cleared for Wilston Grange by Rand. Taken by Guildford. Guildford runs around, decides to go straight across the ground. Not good play by Guildford. And it's taken there by Steve Robinson. Robinson using his pace with a left foot kicking towards the goal square. Kamali up high and a beautiful mark. A great mark by Colin Kamali, right on the goal line, virtually directly in front, almost no angle at all, and Kamali should have no trouble in putting this through. Kamali's kick, the umpire doesn't move, and that's full points, and for the first time in this game, Western Districts go to the lead. A great piece of play then, but bad play by Sid Guildford on that occasion, in from defence to go across the ground and allow Steve Robinson to come into play.
Peter, I feel as though the game can be won or lost at this half-forward line for West, where Gillespie and Kamali have just kicked 2 goals and Sell short on the other flank there, as opposed to Guildford, White and Bizzle. They've got to try to contain these 3 West's half-forward players, otherwise West could get well on top.
Well, Western Districts now 5-1 have hit the lead for the first time in the game. As you heard Bobby Skilton just say, they're 1 point in front, up towards Kamali. Long kick up towards goal here, but a minor score only. And we just finished saying that Kamali had not been taking a major part in the game, but that was a tremendous mark there in the goal square for West. And Kamali booted through and put the Dogs 1 point in front. They now go ahead to 5-2-32. 4-6-30 the Grange, and at this stage it's been 10 scoring shots to West, and I feel that Wilston Grange, while they've started well, have really perhaps frittered away some of their chances to get even further in front. We see Robinson now with the ball, the captain coach for Grange, gets a short kick across where Clark, who's a very clever player, gets a left foot kick across but doesn't go too far. Knocked down there by West player, it's on the ground, and field umpire Kevin Simmons will move in, and Simmons has done an extremely good job to date.
A very good job, Peter. And bounces the ball around to that centre half forward. It's Daniels who knocks it forward. Coming through was O'Shea. He couldn't get the ball out. And in attempting to do so, he got straight into the back of the Western District player in White. White drives the ball forward, and it's taken by Short right on the centre wing position. Selwyn Short. Short's kick. It's a nice-looking kick in towards centre half forward. Gillespie at the back, though, can't punch the ball away, and it's taken by Robin Bizzle. Bizzle, normally wearing number 7, today wearing number 4. Bizzle's kick put out towards centre half forward, up high, and it's Jewel coming well up from centre half forward, from full forward I should say. He's on the centre wing position. It's a nice looking kick from Jewel. From behind it was Taylor, but it's knocked away. Taken now by Staff. He can't get the ball clear. He's still in there fighting, trying to force it forward. Taylor gets a hand pass towards Dial. He's put under pressure by Dickey, and it's carried over the line by Dial, and there'll be a throw in around about 25 metres around from the behind post at Wilston Grange end.
Keep your eyes on number 2 for Wilston Grange, Bob. Gary Dickey, certainly when there's any altercations around, he's not too far away from it. He's a very tough little player and plays the game extremely hard, certainly harder than his weight suggests. At this stage, a free kick being played to Jeff Hunter for in the back against John Norrix. Hunter, a left footer normally, playing in the half-forward flank, is on the opposite flank at this stage of the game, out of position to a degree, and will now have the chance to try and put Wilston Grange back in the lead. Kick from Hunter is out of bounds on the full, called by the boundary umpire there on the point post, and a free kick now to Randall Black. Did not see Dickey out of the side of his eye, I think, at this stage. Hand pass from Craven up to Norrix. Craven backs up well, but Norrix has the chance. Picked up now, hand pass to Black. West in a lot of trouble at the moment. They're hand pass when they should be kicking the ball long.
Peter, that hand passing definitely got into them trouble then. They should have been trying to put as much distance between Wilston Grange's goal and the ball as possible.
Up in the ruck now, Mateo. Long hit out. Goes up towards Toy and Hector Robinson. Backwell on the bottom there, has the ball. Is dispossessed of the ball. Hand pass out from O'Shea towards Moore. Moore's tackled heavily by Matea. Play on calls the umpire. Craven has the chance. Gets a left foot kick up towards the centre wing where it's Robinson against Shields, and a good overhead mark to Steve Robinson, the fastest player in league football without a shadow of a doubt. And there's the quarter time siren here at the Gabba. The end of the first quarter in the 1977 QAFL Grand Final, Western Districts and Woolston Grange. Let's check the scoreboard now at quarter time. Western Districts 5 goals 2, 32 points. 2 points in front of Woolston Grange, 4-6-30, and it's been a tremendously quick and exciting opening quarter of play here in the 1977 Grand Final. Welcome to the commentary, Alex Jesselenko.
Yes, Peter, thank you very much.
Gary Toy gets a handball straight across the ground now, taken for Woolston Grange by Crane. Crane gets the ball down. There's a pack of players for him, but he's held too high, and it's Dickey who comes out with the free kick for Woolston Grange. Dickey about 55 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle. He goes for the short pass. Coming across was Craven. He gets the ball out, but he's held and receives one behind the ear by Clark, and will get the free kick in the true centre half-back position. Craven, the back pocket player for Western Districts. Here's the floating torpedo straight into the centre of the ground. It's wide in front, has the ball punched away. Backwell comes in, gets a handball, but it's intercepted by Guildford. Guildford's kick was smothered. Dial comes through, but overruns the ball. Picked up by Hunter of Woolston Grange. He walks one way, a long hand pass towards his teammate in Crane. Crane can't get possession of the ball. It's taken now by Moore. Moore's pushed over. Taken now by Dickey. Dickey's kick towards goal. Our goal umpire doesn't move, but he doesn't move because it's coming on the angle, and it's 1 point only to Woolston Grange. They just can't quite put the goals on the board, Peter.
Right, Woolston Grange going to 4-7, West 5-2 there. West 1 point in front of Grange here in the opening minute of play in the second quarter of the grand final. Long kick up the ground now towards the centre of the ground from Grange, is knocked down by Toy there. Comes away to Rushbrook, picks it up cleanly. Ducks inside, caught by Kamali. Play on, says the umpire. Robinson goes through, a very quick player. Doesn't have the ball, gets away with it cleverly at this stage. Up towards Gillespie and a good mark. Plays on immediately, kicks it towards full forward. But Hodgson's behind Lansdowne. There's Grange in front here. Good play from Lansdowne. Played that with confidence, bounces twice, gets a kick in here, up towards the centre of the ground. And two West players come in to knock the ball away from Crane of Woolston Grange. Ball is picked up by Long, hand pass over to Moore, picked up now by Rodney Mill. Down towards the centre wing position, kick up in front is marked by Robinson, a strong mark in front of City Guildford of Woolston Grange. Centre wing in front of the Leslie Wilson stand. Kick up here towards the half-forward line for West. Over the top of Backwell. Hand passed away by Lansdowne of Grange. It'll be out of bounds now on the Western District's half-forward flank. Alex Jesselenko, a very bright opening start here to the 77 Grand Final in Brisbane.
Yes, Peter, it's been a great game at this stage, and West seemed to me to be a little bit stronger than Woolston Grange.
Oh, hit the post. Kick from Ian Cole. Running in towards an open goal there is just astray, and the first poster of the game, and that puts West on to 5-3-33, and they go back to being 2 points in front. The kick out to be taken by John Lansdowne, the Woolston Grange fullback. Not a good kick. It's picked up now by Backwell, but Woolston Grange plays in there trying to recover the work, and it's out of bounds, forced over the line by captain coach John Robinson, number 16. You can see him there on your screen. Boundary throw in on the midway between the Western District's half-forward flank and the wing position on the outer side of the ground in front of our commentary point. Rough old hand pass there from Rushbrook, but backed up well by Toy. Hand pass back to Rushbrook. Kick up towards Graham Jewell. Knocked away well by Randall Black. Jewell in front there. Scoops the ball up now. West in front here, but it's Grange who come out on the other side with the ball. Bounce there from Hunter. Let's see the result. The umpire will move in for a bounce. Jeff Hunter on the ground, and deemed by the umpire to be unable to get rid of the ball. Ruck uncontested by Grange, knocked away by White. Kick there, coming across from Toy is marked by Rushbrook in the centre of the ground on the Woolston Grange side of the centre square. Kick from Rushbrook is marked by Craven. He'll be played the mark there in the back pocket for Western Districts. Mick Craven has the chance to drive the ball down the ground, and there's an altercation on behind the game here. Graham Jewell and Randall Black, but it's been broken up. The kick being paid now to Owen Backwell, the rover of Western Districts. Bobby Skilton.
In the centre of the ground, starting to come into the play a little bit. Backwards high, floating kick towards centre half forward. Matea's there, he can't get it. Hodgson gets a hand pass forward, but unfortunately for Western Districts, it's Rand leading to the ball, kicks it off the ground and forces the ball to give the opposition side 1 point. Quick play, Western Districts using their handball very quickly, but it was blind on that occasion, and it was the Grange players who led to the ball. John Lansdowne puts the ball back into play. It's not a good-looking kick, but it covers a lot of distance. Coming through is Rod Mill. He picks up the ball, gets a hand pass. Not a good one. It's taken by Cole. He's met heavily by Rand. Cole's hand pass to Kamali. Kamali snaps at goal. Offline once again, and another point goes on the board to the Western Districts from the boot of Colin Kamali at centre half forward.
Alex Jesselenko, the wind certainly favouring this scoreboard end of the ground, blowing down from east to west. And that's the end which is favoured by the breeze, and we've seen Wilson Grange with 11 scoring shots, and West now in the opening minutes of the second term putting points rather than goals on the board.
Yes, well, the wind has picked up, Peter, and West at this stage seem to be much taller and much stronger than Wilson Grange, and I think this is going to be a telling factor as the game goes on, as the players get tighter. Their strength and height is going to tell over Wilson Grange.
Robin Bizzle on the half-back line, clears the ball up towards the centre wing there, knocked away by Dial at the crucial moment, but it's Grange in front, down towards Jewell, one-hander, can't take the ball. Dickey has the chance now, dispossessed by Craven. Taylor gets a hand pass out to Solly, can't pick the ball up cleanly. It's very tight play back there in the Western District's full-back line, and a free kick to Gary Dickey. I think he's conned the umpire there, to be honest, Bob. I don't think there'd been a 15-metre penalty if Dickey hadn't thrown his arms up when he got up off the ground.
Oh, it's hard to say. When they're within kicking distance, you shouldn't do things like that. What do you think, Alec?
Well, that's right. That's a sin to try to give 15 yards at that particular point.
Well, Gary Dickey's put the Wilson Grange side's 5th goal on the board.
That's Dickey's second.
That's right. They go to the lead now, 5-7 to 5-5. So it's 2 points in favour of Wilson Grange, and we've been playing 6 minutes in the second term here in the 1977 grand final.
Back in the centre of the ground with umpire Simmons. Ruckman to contest this will be Richard Rushbrook and Ziggy Mattia. Mattia's up high, but it's Rushbrook who gets a knock. It's taken coming through by Rod Mill. He can't get possession of the ball cleanly. He now picks it up. It's taken out of his hands by Rushbrook. There's a pack of players forming, and umpire Simmons has no option but to bounce the ball once again. Almost in the centre of the ground once more. It's Mattia and Rushbrook again. Rushbrook gets a knock, but it's taken by Staff. Staff with a floating kick. Guildford leads in the race for the ball. He can't get possession of the ball. It's taken now by Robinson. Robinson with a long hand pass towards Kamali. It was knocked away from him by White of Grange. White around on the centre wing position. Gets a long kick towards half forward. But there's a kick downfield. Slight altercation going on back behind there. On the ground there for Grange is Mick Crane at the moment, in the hands of the trainers. Crane of Grange right in the centre of the ground, being attended by the trainers. Trainers signalling that what I think they might want smelling salts.
Play on the half-forward line for Wilson Grange in front of the members' area. And at this stage of the game, it looks to be as though Wests are gaining perhaps more the man than the ball, Alex Jesselenko.
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's just that they're stronger than Wilson Grange at this stage. They seem bigger. I think they are bigger by looking at them on the field, and it's this strength. They're going in much harder than Wilson Grange.
John Norwich, the half-back flank of a West, up towards the centre of the ground now. Gillespie in front, has a chance, does that very cleverly. Gets a boot round now, swings it round on his right foot, up towards Hodgson, but lands down in front, knocks the ball away from Robert Hodgson, the Western District spearhead, and it's out of bounds now in Western District's forward pocket. 8 minutes gone in the second term. 2 points of difference in favour of Wilson Grange. The 1977 grand final, Western Districts and Grange here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. Tapped away there by White on the ground though, and no player can get the advantage of the ball, and umpire Simmons moving in once again for a bounce. White up against O'Shea, knocked away by White but picked up by Rand there, who's roving the packs well at this stage of the game, but picked up now by Hector Robinson. Left foot kick, floats up towards a full forward zone. Hodgson has the chance from behind but can't mark the ball. It's O'Shea now who's got the chance to clear for his side. The ball will be out of bounds on the Western District's half-forward flank on the western side of the ground. Bob Skilton.
Western Districts, Peter, are applying a lot of pressure to Wilson Grange at the moment, and the disposal of the Grange side has fallen away. From the boundary throw-in, we see Mattia in front. He gets it over the back. It's taken now by Kamali. By Short, I should say. He gets a hand pass towards Backwell. Backwell's clear, and it's a snapshot by Backwell, but it's offline, and again, 1-point results. Western Districts' turn to, in this term, put the minor scores on the board.
So 1 point the difference, 5-6 Western Districts to Wilson Grange 5-7. 1 point here at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. Kick out from Lansdowne is knocked down by Dial. Hand pass towards Short. Hand pass over towards Staff. Staff gets his kick in now down towards our forward line. White has the chance. It's knocked down there though. White has got the hand pass away in towards Neville White, who's caught with the ball. Play-ons calls the umpire. The push in the back against Western Districts going to Peter Long, number 17 of Wilston Grange, and a 15-metre penalty, the ball not thrown back to him correctly. Peter Long, kick up towards the centre wing position now, marked there by John Harris. Harris's kick up towards the Grange half-forward line, almost marked by Clark, but knocked away by Taylor at the crucial moment. Dickey's in the clear, the ball scooped away there. Free kick to Gary Dickey against Peter Taylor. Tackled too high. Dickey kicks towards centre half forward, going across the ground. Knocked away by Selwyn Short. Western District's in front now. Ben Solly has the chance, picks it up quickly. Down towards the half forward line. Steve Robinson on the wing rather. Gets away. There'll be a free kick there to Steve Robinson. Tackled once again, or pushed in the back rather. And umpire Simmons doing a very good job, Bob Skilton.
Straight kick up towards half forward, taken now by Cole. He tries to get the ball forward, knocks it on, knocked out by Kamali. He can't get the ball clear as White comes through. Picked up quickly by Mill. Mill with a hand pass, knocked on by Robinson towards Backwell. He runs into the open goal and puts it right through the centre. A great goal. Waiting for the strike, full points. Umpire Simmons was going to give another kick to Backwell if the score hadn't gone right through the centre. A lot of pressure on in this game. It's a little bit spiteful at times, Eric.
Yes, Bobby, there's a bit of spite coming into the game. I don't know whether it's just the tension or whatever it is, but they seem to be going in hard, and there's a few behind-the-scenes activity going on here. West, to me, seem to be the strongest, as I said before, the strongest side, and it's to the credit of Wilson Grange that they've kept so close, really.
West now leading by 5 points as Backwell takes the ball out of the centre, and it's a beautiful kick by Backwell down towards the goal square. From behind it was Hodgson. It's knocked away by Lansdowne, taken by Long. He forced the ball forward, and it's Rand of Wilson Grange who knocks it through for another behind to take West to exactly 1 goal clear. 6 points in front, and West seems to have taken the ascendancy for the moment, Peter.
Yes, they're starting to get their game going. It was noticeable there in the forward line when the ball did come clear to Backwell how dangerous he is around those goals. He's kicked, in fact, he only needs 1 more goal now to bring up his 100 for the season. He kicked 98 before the start of this game. He's just kicked one. We've seen him kick one then about the last 2 minutes. And 1 more goal to Owen Backwell will give him 100 for the season for a Rover, and that's very good football from a player in that position. 6-7 West to 5-7 Wilston Grange, and it's 1 straight kick at the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. Free kick to Ziggy Mattea, number 13, the Western District's captain. Kick from Mattea up towards Kamali, over the top of Kamali, knocked away by White, picked up by Harris. Kick out towards the centre wing, the half-back line rather, and caught by Shields is caught by Robinson, the boundary throw-in. Knocked away by O'Shea, down to Robinson, left foot kick up towards Clark. Free kick to Barry Clark against Peter Taylor around the neck. These two had a very interesting tussle in the second semi-final. Clark had the honours on that particular day, and the Grogan medal winner, Clark, almost a great mark there to Black. Hand pass is done well by Dial across to Rodney Mill. Kicks now across towards a vacant space where Kamali is looming on the centre wing position. Left foot kick is not well done by Kamali. He gets the chance to come through though. Free kick to Colin Kamali, the Grange player coming through, a push in the back. And the Western District centre half forward A state player here before he left and played with Collingwood the last 2 seasons, and has played the last half of 1977 back here with Western Districts. Great mark to Ross White in the forward pocket, between the forward pocket and the half-forward flank for Western Districts. Big Ross White, who played in Canberra last year and has played his first season here in Brisbane with the Bulldogs. Has a chance to win the Dogs' 7th goal up. The crowd reaction indicated more than a minor score, but it's 1 point only. And that puts Western Districts 7 points in front. They go to 6-8, 44 to Woolston Grange 5-7-37. Alex Jesselenko, as you said, Western District's strength becoming more and more apparent as the game continues on.
Yes, I think so, Peter. Not only have they got strength, they've got height to go with it. And I think this is going to be the telling factor at the finish.
Kicked off the ground for Grange, but it's Mark Rand coming down from the back pocket. He's right on the centre wing position, and it's out of bounds on the full, and it's Sal Short who'll take the kick. Short's drop punting towards centre half forward. There's a pack of players through. It comes over the back, taken by Mateo across to Gillespie. Gillespie straightens up and lines the ball up, puts it straight through the centre, and it's another goal to Western Districts.
Bobby Skilton, they're deadly when they get this handball going in their forward line.
You mentioned earlier, Peter, that this game could be won or lost by the respective half-forward lines, and it's in this term that we found Gillespie, Kamali and Short covering a lot of territory and opening the forward line right up for the Western District side.
Okay, 7-8-50. They go to a 13-point lead over Woolston Grange, 5-7-37. In the last 5 minutes, it's Western Districts who've started to dominate proceedings here in the second term of the grand final. We're in the centre of the ground now. It's knocked away by Dickey. Grange in front here through Rushbrook, gets the chance, is caught and tackled with the ball, dispossessed. It's picked up now by Starf. He'll drive the team down into the half-forward line, up towards Kamali. Almost had the mark. Yes, has got the mark. 3 grabs. Never took his eyes off the ball and has been paid the mark by the field umpire. Colin Kamali up towards full forward, but it's all Woolston Grange there through Lansdowne and Harris, but Lansdowne can't mark the ball. It's been pushed over the boundary line. It's out of bounds now in the Western District's forward pocket. Boundary throw in. Harris against White. No player gets a hand the ball. Booted up by White towards the half-forward line now, or half-back line rather. It's Short in front there, but Shields is on the deck, scoops the ball away. Cole is in there trying to get possession for his side. Is still on the ball, burrowing away fiercely, trying to get the ball out, but cannot do so. And field umpire Simmons moves in for a bounce. We're on the half-forward line in Western District's attacking zone. It's Rushbrook again. He's been the dominant ruckman on the ground rather. Kamali gets the kick up towards Hodgson. It's knocked away by Lansdowne. Play on calls the umpire. Play on again. Almost a free kick to Cole. Backwards in front. And he's put it through. And that's Western District's 8th goal. And they're starting to take a hold on this particular match. That's his 100th goal. Owen Backwell has kicked 100 goals in 1977. A tremendous effort. A dual Grogan medal winner, played with Fitzroy last year in the VFL, played mostly in the reserves down in Melbourne, but came back at the start of the season and has been a great player for Western Districts, one of the key players here for the Dogs today. And Bob Skilton, as a former Rover, 100 goals would make any coach pleased.
In anybody's language, in any competition, it's a wonderful effort. As we see Taylor force the ball forward, Norwich picks it up, but it's Dickey who takes the ball away from him, puts the ball wide to Crane, now wearing a headband, obviously from a cut from that injury previously. It's forced forward, it must be a free kick, and it's taken now on the half-forward flank for Grange. I can't quite pick up who it is.
John Robinson, Bob, I think.
John Robinson out there, is it?
Yes.
Robinson, captain of the Woolston Grange side. Robinson's kick right in towards the goal square. It's offline, doesn't quite make the distance, and a great mark in front of the pack by Randall Black. No, it's not Black, it's
Peter Taylor.
Oh, great mark by Taylor. Taylor's kicked straight up the ground looking for White, and White comes down. A handball across, taken now by Dial. Dial's kick towards the centre wing position where it's Gillespie and Kamali up together. Forced forward by Bizzle. He gets a hand pass across to Dickey. Dickey goes into the centre of the ground. His kick is smothered by Short. Short takes possession of the ball and drives the ball straight down the ground where it's Hodgson and Lansdowne, 2 out. It's Lansdowne who comes out with the ball though. He forces it wide. Taken now by Cole. Cole's all on his own. He has time to steady. He lines the ball up, puts it in towards goal, but it's right offline and it's out of bounds on the full.
Western District's looking extremely dangerous at the moment. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and it was obvious then that the further the ball came down the ground, the further they had Grange on the back foot. Lansdowne, I think, Bob, doing a good job on Hodgson at full forward. He's giving away a couple of inches, but is doing a pretty good job on keeping the young Western District's full forward quiet.
Allowed him to get it clear at all at any stage, but here's the play that you've nominated as dominating the ruck work as Richard Rushbrook takes the mark and drives the ball down towards centre half forward. Blackett was who came out, couldn't take possession of the ball. Robinson picks the ball up, puts the ball down towards O'Shea and Staff up high, couldn't take the mark. Yes, it's been paid by umpire Simmons. Staff high in the air above O'Shea on that occasion. Robinson may well have been advised to have a shot at goal. Staff's kick towards the half-back line, and a lovely mark by Clark. He handballs on quickly to Hunter. Hunter goes onto the left foot and swings the ball in towards goal. Full points, a great goal for Grange, and a much-needed goal.
Yes, and they needed that goal badly. A good kick there from Jeff Hunter. He's very dangerous when he's given room to move.
It's Hunter's first.
Hunter's first for the game, and David Dial is playing on Jeff Hunter, number 16. You can see him down now, and there's the scoreboard rather, 8-8 to 6-7, a 13-point lead. And Wilson Grange, as I've said, Bob, needed to get that goal as half-time is starting to loom closer and closer. Back in the centre of the ground. The ruck's won there by White over Rushbrook for, I think, the first time in the game. And the kick up the ground towards the Grange full forward, or the forward line. Two Grange players knock each other over there, Jewell and Clark, and it's Randall Black who's coming down the ground. His kick is marked by Toy on the half-back line for Wilson Grange, up towards the half-forward flank where he finds Robinson wide, rather. Hand pass through to Moore, who ducks around the back pocket player Crane. Caught with the ball and a free kick to Mick Craven. Western Districts, I feel, starting to play with more and more confidence. Kick from Craven up towards the centre of the ground, where it's marked by White. Hand pass to Taylor, ducks around Dickey, and gets his boot to ball down towards the half-forward line where it's Gillespie, or Robinson rather, almost got the mark, but knocked away at the last minute by White. Pushed out there by Cole, and it's out of bounds on the centre wing position, or more on the half-forward line for Western Districts rather, right in front of the public stand here, this Leslie Wilson stand at the cricket ground. Boundary throw in. Long against Mateo. Ball knocked down there. Free kick to Neville White for in the back, or round the neck rather. And there's a little bit of spite going on here. Selwyn Short and Gary Dickey, the two culprits, I feel, at this stage. And Short's just given Dickey something for his trouble. Up the ground now, the kick, and it's marked by Norrix. John Norrix, a state back pocket player this year, playing on the half-back flank for Western Districts this afternoon. Ball is knocked away. Guildford here has the chance, kicks it across now towards the centre half-back position. Brian Moore with the ball, boots it up the ground towards centre half forward. Clark almost took the mark but couldn't hang on to it long enough. The ball there knocked away by David Dial on the bottom of that pack, and umpire Simmons moving in on the attacking side of the centre square here at the cricket ground. Bob Skilton.
A big punch from White, goes towards Gillespie. He couldn't get possession of the ball though, and Bizzle relieves the pressure for Grange. His long, wobbly looking kick goes towards half forward. Almost a collision between Craven and Rand, and it's Craven who picks the ball up. Doesn't really go up the centre of the ground though, and Bizzle drops him up. Gets it out though to Toy. Toy's long left foot towards centre half forward. Punch forward by Clark, a great piece of play. It's Staff leading in the race for the ball, but it'll beat him over the boundary line, and the throw-in will result right by the point post for Grange. A great piece of play then by the centre half forward for Grange in Barry Clark. He knew he had no chance of marking it, and the big punch forward. Knocked down to the ground, taken by Taylor. He beaten for the ball by O'Shea. O'Shea's kick, a wobbly-looking kick. The bounce of the ball beat Mick Craven, and it's through for 1 point to Grange, with West now going to 8 goals 8, with Wilson Grange 6 goals 8, 2 goals separating the sides. A long kick out, and it's Toy who's playing a good game in the centre for Grange to take the resultant mark. Gary Toy, his kick, it's a lovely looking kick in towards centre half forward. Jules up in front of the pack, and Clark it is who's come out with the ball, but as I called, umpire Simmons agrees, and it was Graham Jewell to take the mark. Jewell a little bit quiet in this term compared to the first quarter, where he was running here, there and everywhere and creating a lot of opportunities for the Wilson Grange forward line.
Alex Yasilenko, this goal obviously much needed by Wilson Grange, and there's no doubt about that one. That's Grange's 7th on the board, We've got a very close football match here in the 1977 Grand Final.
Well, when you look at the scoreboard, Peter, there's only one goal the difference, and by the play, you'd think that West would be at least 4 or 5 goals in front, and it's to the credit of the Grange that they're so close.
There it is on your scoreboard. Western Districts 8 goals 8, Wilson Grange 7 goals 8, 6 points, 1 straight kick, 1 goal at the 26-minute mark of the second quarter here at the cricket ground. Ball on the half-forward flank from Gillespie. Over the top now, picked up here, and this is going to be a certain goal. Ian Cole, straight through the high diddle middle, and that's a good goal to Western Districts on the comeback, and that puts them 2 goals clear now, about 27 minutes into the second quarter, and I'm quite sure that Jack Atkins would be pleased to go off the ground 2 goals clear of what has been a fairly plucky Wilson Grange side here in the opening half of this grand final. Bob Skilton.
That's the second goal from Ian Cole. He's a very busy player, a terrier-type player. Once he makes up his mind that he's going to go for the ball, there's no holds barred, and he's in with great courage. From the last couple of centre bounces, it seems to me that big Ross White is starting to assert a little bit of authority and out-jump Rushbrook. But this time it's Rushbrook who gets the ball away. It's taken by Staff of the Western District side. His high floating kick towards centre half forward where it's Kamali has the ball punched away by Bizzle. Picked up by White. His kick, though, is taken by Staff, who's followed on and come down the ground. His long left foot kick down towards centre half forward, but a great defensive mark by John Lansdowne at full-back.
He's playing very well, Bob, at full-back for Grange, isn't he?
Very well. His long left foot kick towards the centre wing position. Up high was Mill, who punched the ball down forward, but it's taken now by Moore of the Grange, but he had carried the ball over the line before he got his foot to the ball, and we'll see the throw-in right in front of the Leslie Wilson stand. A great game so far.
That's right. Nearly siren time here to mark half-time at the end of the first 2 quarters. About 28 minutes gone in the second quarter. The ball on the Wilson Grange half-forward line in front of the members' reserve. And a very close and exciting match here at the cricket ground. Wilson Grange and Western Districts for the 1977 QAFL Premiership. Knocked away there by Jewell, it was on that occasion. But the ball's come down where Staff, who's playing very well at the moment. A good mark there. Play on, says the umpire. I think touched by Guildford on the way through was the call from field umpire Kevin Simmons. Ball now back in front of the members' stand when Norwich clears the ball out towards the centre wing position. Sidney Guildford, a veteran in league football here in Queensland, playing his 299th game, but his clearing kick is marked by Mick Craven, who's anticipating well in the back pocket, and coming down the ground takes a strong defensive mark up towards the centre of the ground. The flight of the ball misjudged by both Kamali and his opponent, but a hand pass out from Matea. Cole's overheaded. This is good football. Oh, and spilled by Kamali. A certain goal there to West gone begging. Colin Kamali dropped the ball at the crucial moment, and Grange have the chance now to clear. Hand pass from Harris to Long. Long gets a left foot pass over now to Moore. Moore through to Guildford. Guildford streaming down the ground. His kick up towards Dickey. Can't hold it. Picked up by Craven. Kicks it back towards the centre wing position, and the ball will beat both Long and Backwell over the... and it's on again up here on the centre wing position, or the half-forward line in front of the members' stand. And quite a few incidents behind the play, and a fair deal of feeling out there, obviously, between these two sides. Wests have been put into this game as favourites, and Wilson Grange have had to suffer most of the criticism, in a sense. They've been criticised as not having a strong defence and that they'd be steamrolled by West today, but they're certainly shown they're not going to be steamrolled as far as this match is concerned. They're playing good football. Boundary throw-in from the boundary umpire Alan Alcock over there in front of the public stand. Almost half-time here at the cricket ground. West out through Matea, out to Kamali, pushing the back against Wilson Grange, and a free kick to Colin Kamali. West holding a 2-goal advantage. Can they score again before the half-time break? Kick from Kamali up towards full forward. Knocked away now by the Grange defence, but Hodgson can't recover the ball before it goes out of bounds in front of the Royal Australian Artillery Band there, and just behind the forward pocket. Boundary throw-in, up to White. Gets a kick in. 1 point only, and that's a 13-point lead now, almost on half-time here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. Western Districts and Woolston Grange in the grand final in Australian football here in Queensland. Bob Skilton.
Good piece of play then by Ross White, but unfortunately he didn't bring up full points as Lansdowne almost straight up the centre of the ground. Mateo up high, couldn't take possession of the ball though. It's picked up by Robinson. He uses his pace to advantage, hooks the ball back in towards centre forward, and a strong, courageous mark taken by captain of the Western Districts in Ziggy Mateo. Mateo, very, very courageous on that occasion. A long kick by Mateo. Unfortunately, though, won't reach the... almost went through. It's a good piece of shepherding by Ross White. It's called 1 point by the umpire, and with the half-time siren sounding, there's a 14-point lead to the Western Districts, with the scoreboard reading at half-time. Western Districts 9 goals 10, Woolston Grange 7 goals 8.
There's a start of play now in the third quarter. Field umpire Kevin Simmons doing a very good job. Moves in now for the centre bounce. White against Rushbrook, and Rushbrook, who's been a dominating player in the ruck, wins yet another centre bounce. The ball on the ground picked up by Staff. A long hand pass out towards Short. Gets a hand pass across towards White. An ill-directed hand pass. Guildford chips in and picks it up quickly. More a hand pass to Toyers. Good football from Grange. Kick from Toy down towards the half-forward line. Clark, marked by Clark, who plays on. And his kick is offline for a minor score only. Well, good play there from Woolston Grange in the opening 30 seconds of the third quarter of this game. Offline, Barry Clark, and a minor score only. Peter Clark getting up very gingerly. Noel, as you're just about to comment, I'm sure, on the fact that he's limping quite noticeably.
He is limping, and Grange can't lose a player of his ability.
The kick from Black, punched away from Taylor. Kick taken by Staff. A handball to Taylor. Taylor's wobbly-looking kick gets over the top. It's knocked forward by Rod Mill towards Sel Short. The bounce of the ball beats Short. It's taken by Moore, but it comes back to Mill, who does a wonderful blind turn. And a long kick by Mill up towards the forward pocket. Punched away by Lansdowne, who's been a great player so far for Grange. And it's over the line and out of bounds, halfway between the forward pocket and half-forward flank for Western Districts. From the throw-in, it's Mattia. Jostling for it with Rushbrook, knocked down by Mattia, picked up by Lansdowne, punched forward again by Mattia. It's Cole who picks the ball up, and a long kick hooked over the shoulder in towards the goal square. Hodgson's up there, has the ball punched away. It's Lansdowne coming forward. No free kick, call play on by the umpire as it's picked up again by Backwell. Backwell hooks it over the shoulder, and it's a lovely goal by Backwell. A beautiful goal, and that's his 101st goal this season. A magnificent effort by a Rove, and that was a great goal.
There he is. You've been a former Rove yourself, but this is a typical Backwell goal. He's an unbelievable snapshot at the goal. He only needs to have a little bit of daylight between any pack, and the ball's right through and kicked right through the middle.
Scoreboard shows Western Districts 10-10-70, Woolston Grange 7-9-51, 19 points in favour of Wests. Back in the centre of the ground. Knocked down by White it is in front of Rushbrook, but it's down towards Woolston Grange's half-forward line. Solly's in front, taps the ball down. Clark, O'Shea has the chance, but it's off the pack here up towards Craven on his own. Clark tries to mark, but Craven comes through and the ball is forced over the boundary line in the Woolston Grange forward pocket. Peter Craven, number 4, playing a pretty good game there in the last line of defence for the Bulldogs.
Him and Randall Black have worked in very well in this last line of defence all season, Peter.
Yes, and we see play there in the Woolston Grange full forward line. A kick off the ground, or it's pushed through by the Western District's defence, and a minor score coming up for Woolston Grange. They're now 18 points, 3 clear goals behind Woolston Grange. Kick from Black up towards Taylor. Yes, has 2 grabs at the ball and has been paid the mark by field umpire Simmons.
Peter, you'd have to give credit to Peter Taylor today. Last time these two teams met, Barry Clark did have his measure, but today I think Taylor's on top.
Taylor's kick up, and a good strong mark taken by Ross White. A shocking handball by White, but fortunately for Western Districts, it's Short who comes through, leading in the race for the ball. Short hooks the ball over, and it's all Western Districts as we find Backwell all on his own. Backwell quickly moves the ball down the ground, but Woolston Grange defenders come across, punch the ball forward. Whipping across in front of the pack now is Robinson for Miller, should say, for Western Districts. His long kick down towards the goal square. Up in front is Long. He couldn't take the possession of the ball. Cole comes out with it, gets the ball forward, but umpire Simmons has decided that Cole held the ball too long, and the free kick will be taken for Woolston Grange by Richard Rushbrook. He relieves the pressure for Grange. Robinson was up high over the top of Shield. Neither player could mark. Harris comes through, and it's Robinson who picks the ball up, but it's been carried over the line prior to him picking the ball up, and the ball will be thrown in on the centre of the ground.
Boundary throw in. White up against Harris it is. White wins the tap down. It's knocked away there by Bizzle for Wiston Grange. Shields in control of the ball. Staff now dispossesses him, and it'll be played a free kick to Wiston Grange. Terry Staff a little bit tough there, I thought, to perhaps be played or be penalised on that occasion, but the umpire, much closer to the play, gave the free kick to Grange. We see Wiston Grange on the attack now, down towards their between the centre wing and the half-forward line for Grange, but it's the Grogan medal winner, Peter Taylor of West, who clears for the Dogs, and it's up towards the half-forward line where big Terry Staff takes the mark.
A very mobile man, Peter. Terry Staff, Peter.
As we see from the resultant kick, it's Owen Backwell coming into the game in this quarter. Backwell making position beautifully on that occasion, dropping in for the short kick. Everybody assuming, I think, that Staff was going to do a good kick, and it's Backwell lining the ball up about 50 metres out from goal. It's a lovely kick from Backwell. Swinging back, we'll wait for the umpire's decision. It's 1 point only. It was a beautiful kick by Backwell, but resulting in 1 point to Western Districts.
Bob, that's Backwell's style of play. He moves down into the forward line very quick as a rover and creates that loose man for West to get their attack moving.
As Lansdowne goes straight up the centre of the ground, punched away by Robinson, knocked forward again by Mill. Coming through was Crane. He couldn't get possession. Heck Robinson with a long hand pass. Taken now by Short, using his pace to advantage. A lovely pass by Short, and a diving mark there, taken by the Western District skipper in Ziggy Mattia. Mattia directly in front, only about 35 metres out from goal.
I think we've seen a turning point in the game now, Bob. West are starting to get well on top, and there's the goal to put West even further in front.
And Western Districts go to 11-11-77. As we see Ziggy Mattia there, sealing his players along, one of the biggest men in league football, and there he is calling encouragement to his team. And the crowd, the Western District supporters, starting to sing the Bulldog song. There's the scoreboard. Western Districts 11-11-77, Wiston Grange 7-10-52, and the Dogs are 25 points in front at the 7-minute mark of the third term.
These two ruckmen, Peter, are starting to have a far more even duel.
Yes, White, it's noticeable that Ross White is starting to gain more of the control of the ball from the centre bounce, although we saw again Rushbrook there win that tap convincingly. Guildford there, the veteran of league football, 299 games, playing like a 3-year-old, gets the hand pass across and has it returned to him by Moore. Gets the pass now across towards Robinson, who plays on quickly now, out towards Hunter, and that's good football from Wiston Grange. They ran the Western District's defence a little bit ragged then, and Jeff Hunter is about 40 to 45 metres out, almost directly in front, a slight angle, and will kick for goal. Left foot kick from Hunter. He's on the way, won't quite make the distance. Play on, and there's a touch. Kick from Clark is touched, and it's through for a minor score only, rather. So Wiston Grange go to 7-11, and now try West by 4 points. Kick out from Randall Black, up towards Mattia and Toy. Toy knocks the ball down. Jewell has a chance there, puts his boot to the ball. Robinson has the ball, being given the free kick against Hector Robinson. Held without the ball was the decision by the umpire. So John Robinson, the Wiston Grange skipper,
he's had a few shots for goal, Peter. Hasn't scored as yet, hasn't scored a goal, but this one could be through the middle.
Offline, and it's further behind to Wiston Grange, so they go to 7-12, and they now trail West by 23 points. Bob Skilton.
We see Randall Black. It's a lovely kick by Black, right up to the centre wing position. It's over the top of the pack, taken by Taylor. Taylor's kick goes straight across the ground, but we see Guildford all on his own. He's showing a lot of dash for a veteran player. Guildford's kick across to the half-forward line, beautifully positioned, and it's Richard Rushbrook, the big, strong ruckman for Grange, who takes the mark on the half-forward flank.
He's a very big contributor today, Bob, to the Wiston Grange effort, playing strongly around the ground and playing well in the ruck. That's a great kick. That's through for sure. That's his third goal, and a much-needed goal to Wiston Grange from the boot of Richard Rushbrook, close to best on the ground so far in this grand final. West's 11-11-77. There he is, Richard Rushbrook, number 24, the big fellow from Grange. And the scoreboard now sees Western Districts 11-11-77. 17 points in front of Wiston Grange, 8-12-60.
That movement came from veteran Sid Guildford from the half-back line, Peter.
Well, he's virtually the Barry Cable of Brisbane football, 32 years of age and playing as well as ever after having a spell last season. Has come back and has been a dominant player for Grange in the latter half of the season. Play on the half-forward line for Grange now, and the game's starting to tighten up considerably. Hand pass there is a floater from Robinson, but it's well done by his teammate Steve Robinson. The kick from Hick Robinson up towards Solly, and that's a mark. Solly plays on quickly. Left foot kick up towards the goal, and that's a magnificent shot for goal from the boot of Ben Solly, number 3. Tremendous.
Peter, that was a marvellous kick. Ben Solly is a normal right foot kick. He was running away from the goal on the wrong side at a very acute angle and dropped it very calmly onto his foot, and with a lovely drop punt went right through the middle.
Well, he's playing as a ruck rover, changing the back pocket, but doing a tremendous job on the ball. We've seen him take a good mark earlier in the game and kick a tremendous long kick for goal, which scored, and that's his second goal. And West go back to being 23 points in front. Out of the centre goes the kick from the Grange player down towards the half-forward line. Grange in control of the ball, but he's bumped off heavily by Taylor, playing a mighty game now at centre-half back. Guildford comes in, and there's class all over that player. Weaves around many players here, up towards a full forward line, up towards Black, knocked away by Black. Rushbrook has the chance, and there's a kick for goal, which is through the middle, his 4th goal. Big Richard Rushbrook. 4 goals for the big fella from Grange. And they're really doing a North Melbourne coming back now in the 3rd quarter. 24, there he is.
Peter, an interesting change there is seen Barry Clark move to full forward and Graham Jewell at centre half forward. Obviously, Barry Clark may have felt that knock that he had before, some injury to the leg.
Well, there's the big crowd obviously enjoying a spectacular and open grand final here at the Gabba. The scoreboard reads West 12-11-83 and Wiston Grange 9-12-66. So at 17 points, the difference again. Centre bounce. Players there. Hector Robinson pushes the ball out now where it's his opposition. Gary Toy, who's fell there. Play on, says the umpire. Robinson backing up. Hand pass across to Solly, and the tempo's considerably quickened since half-time. Rodney Mill goes in, weaves out, but can't control the ball. Neville White down from the half-back line. Free kick to Neville White. Late tackle by Hick Robinson.
Very strong play by Wiston Grange then, Peter, to be able to clear that ball when Ben Solly appeared to have it covered.
Well, they're certainly not wilting, and they're going to make a real fight of this for Western Districts.
As Solly picks up the ball, drives it in towards centre half forward. Gillespie couldn't take the mark. Kamali comes in. Over the top of the ball is Bizzle. He's held, and umpire Simmons says that Robin Bizzle made no attempt to get the ball out, and it's a kick taken by Colin Kamali. Kamali's kick right to the goal square. It won't make the distance. And it's a beautiful mark in defence. Up high in defence is the fullback for Grange in John Lansdowne. Lansdowne has played a great game.
Bob, this will be Lansdowne's best game I've seen him put in since he's been in Brisbane football.
He's really played well now, Noel, as we get a hand pass from Cole, but it's straight forward to Crane. Crane knocks the ball forward, taken by Hunter. Hunter's long kick towards centre half forward. Over the back is Robertson, who takes it. Plays on quickly, goes for the short pass, but unfortunately it's smothered by Staff. Staff coming in with a lot of pressure. He dives on top of the ball, as too does Robinson. Robinson looking for his teammate further down the ground on that occasion, and it was good play by Terry Staff.
Bob, the tempo of the game has picked up considerably since half-time. It's being played at breakneck speed at the moment.
As we find Owen Backwell over the top of the ball, players are desperate, and that is the reason for the increase in the tempo, with Grange scoring those 3 quick goals, 2 quick goals I should say, and one by the Western Districts. As Mattia gets the ball wide towards Backwell, he's forcing the ball forward in front of him. Players diving in right, left and centre as we see Robinson over the top of the ball. O'Shea pushing Backwell into it. Coming out of it was Shields, the small wingman for Grange, as the ball bounced close to the boundary line. Mattia tries to get a hand pass forward by Western Districts, taken by Solly. Solly puts the ball in towards the centre of the ground. It's Guildford once again, though. He's playing a magnificent game. A long kick by Guildford straight down the ground from the back of the pack. Randall almost took the ball. Forcing the ball forward was Harris. Harris dives on top of the ball there. He can't get the ball out as it's Black on the bottom of the pack. And it's Black. Harris, Staff comes out with the ball, and we'll find a bounce about 20 yards out from goal.
Okay, Solly has the chance now, or Mattia rather. but it's kicked out of bounds. Play on. No, it's not. Pass to the umpire, and that's opportunist play from Grange.
That was an unbelievable pass if it was meant, Peter. Clark picked that ball up out of a pack, and there he saw Dickie on his own, I think, and delivered the ball very accurately right to him.
This will make it very interesting now if Dickie can put this kick through. Kicks for goal, and he's just snuck that one through. Poked it through, Bob Skilton, and Grange's 10th goal goes on the board, and that's his third goal. So Wilson Grange now come closer to Western Districts at the 16-minute mark. There's the scoreboard. Western Districts 12-11, 83. Wilston Grange 10-12, 72. 11-point lead to the Bulldogs here at the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. An exciting Australian football grand final here today at the Gabba. The ball up towards the Wilson Grange half-forward line, and Grange are making a great effort to get back into this game. Kick from Jewell up towards Clark.
I noticed there, Peter, that Randall Black has left Barry Clark there on a couple of occasions, and we saw Craven there battling against Clark and Dickie there on his own in the goal square.
Righto, bounced by the umpire there. Dispossessed the ball, but Craven comes out here with the ball for Western Districts. Clears it along the southern side of the ground. It's out of bounds now. It'll be a boundary throw-in on the Wilston Grange half-forward flank here in front of the Clem Jones stand at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. Boundary throw-in, White against O'Shea. Knocked down by White, picked up by Backwell. Up towards Neville White and Kamali. White punches the ball down, but Jewell has dispossessed the ball. The ball's been rushed forward now by West, and here's Robinson trying to pick it up now. Goes in, but it's Bizzle. Hand pass now to Shields, and Granger on the comeback trail. Out towards the half-back line now for Western Districts. Dial is trying to clear the ball away desperately. And a free kick to David Dial it is. No, to Wilson Grange. I thought the way the umpire's positioned there was a Grange free kick. And in fact, Graham Jewell and the crowd not too happy about that one, or some of them anyway.
Peter, at this stage it seems West are getting a little bit rattled under pressure. Their hand passing not as crisp and clean as it was earlier.
Free kick there to Randall Black. Pushed out before the ball came down into the full forward square for Wilson Grange. So Randall Black, the fullback from Western Districts, has the chance to relieve the pressure for his side. Long kick up towards the half-forward line, almost pulled down there by Jewell. But it's Taylor of West who has the chance now, puts the ball into his left boot up towards the centre wing position. Almost marked by Gillespie, but he's harassed there well by Bizzle. It's now Shields who comes down, kicks the ball back towards Wilson Grange's half-forward line. Solly gets up high but can't mark the ball. It's John Norrix now, who has the chance now and does it well. Clears for Western Districts. Hector Robinson spoils Gary Toy. A quick hand pass to Guildford, who's playing a very good game in this third quarter. Up towards Rushbrook. They'll be played the free kick. And three players there going for the ball. Rushbrook had the front position. And he was hit by Staff there in the flight for the ball. And Richard Rushbrook has been played a free kick. He's about 35 to 40 metres out on a slight angle, but will obviously kick for goal.
The value of having Sid Guildford on the half-back line showed there, where he's been able to put them into attack with well-directed kicks.
Let's wait for the decision. It's a goal. That's his fifth goal and third for this quarter. So Richard Rushbrook playing a dominating role as he has all day, but is really coming alive in the third term to help put his side right in this game at the cricket ground. Bob Skilton, the scoreboard, Western Districts 12-11, 83. Wilson Grange 11-12, 78. It's a 5-point margin in favour of West, and West at the moment under extreme pressure.
And the pressure is really on West right now, because it's a long while. And that's typical with an extra player in the line, as we see Toy with a long kick down towards the forward line. In front again is Rushbrook, but he can't take the mark. It's picked up by Taylor. He relieves the pressure for just a moment with a left foot took wide to the wing. Up high was Robinson, and a beautiful mark by Robinson on the centre wing position. He goes for a hand pass to Dial. Dial on quickly where we see White, but he wasn't prepared for that one, as he thought Coles was going to take the ball. Whipping through was Bizzle, and Grange have really lifted their game as Robin Bizzle carries the ball over the line on the centre wing position.
Well, the crowd are certainly come alive. They've had a great afternoon's entertainment here. The first half's been great, but this third quarter's even better as we see Toy come down the ground. His left foot kick up there towards the half-forward line. The ball knocked away from Sully by the Grange forward, and it's out in the open spaces now, but it's all Grange here as Jewell comes in. Rodney Mill moves into Harris Jewell, but the kick from Jewell is up towards Craven, who's in front. He played on with the ball, I thought. I thought that Gary Dickey was quite entitled to go in there and tackle him. Craven took 1 or 2 steps forward, and for mine was off. We see the kick from Craven up towards Kamali. It's knocked away by Grange. Moore picks up and boots the ball long and high up towards the full forward line. But it's noticeable now that Randall Black is only attempting to spoil. This is good football from Rushbrook. He's kicked it around towards Clark, who can't recover quickly enough, and it's through for a minor score. So it's Wiston Grange now, only 4 points behind Western Districts, and a very tense grand final here at the Gabba. Bob Skilton.
Peter, it's a long while since Grange have gone into their forward line as Rand puts the ball wide. It's a beautiful kick. Up high, and it's another Grange mark as Peter Long comes out with the ball. Plays on quickly towards centre-half forward, and it's Robinson who takes an easy chest mark. Bob. Robinson, a busy player this quarter, Noel.
Yes, that's right, Bob. I think West back line are very confused at the moment, and they're unsettled, especially in the last line of defence. We've seen Randall Black leave Clark on a few occasions, and they've been able to get the loose man in their forward line. Wiston Grange have.
As Robinson's kick, it's a beautiful-looking kick. We'll wait for the decision by the umpire. Unfortunately, only 1 point. Captain and coach John Robinson would not be very happy with that kick. It was directly in front.
He's got a touch of the Arnold Brightuses, I think, Bob Skilton.
Going for the short pass. It's dangerous. As we come out, we find Hunter. Hunter lines the ball up, goes for the short one. Too short, though, as we find Craven, who's been a good player in the back pocket. Even though Dickey has kicked 3 goals, Craven has done a good job. Dickey goes up the centre of the ground where over the top of the pack it's Jewell who knocks the ball away from Taylor. It's taken by Dial. Dial's kick smothered. It comes in towards the centre of the ground. Short leads in the race of the ball but misses it. Picked up by Bizzle of Grange who drives it right to the square. The pack flying. It's knocked away though by Rand and it's over the line and out of bounds right beside the point post with a lot of pressure being put on the Western District's back line at the moment. They cannot even get the ball back past the centre as we see Guildford, Toy and others driving the ball back each time as it's Solly over the top of the ball now. Forced taken out, now it's Crane. Crane's kick. 1 point only again and Western Districts, Wiston Grange I should say, are preparing those goals. But unfortunately for them, they just can't put them through, Peter.
OK, well, they've had 26 scoring shots to 23, and they've had by far the better of the third quarter to date. 23 minutes gone in the third term of this 1977 grand final here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. Randall Black, the fullback for West, kicks out towards the centre of the ground. A good strong mark there to the West captain, Ziggy Mattea.
Peter, they haven't been over that half-forward line for some time now. We'll just see if they can do something this time they're in there.
Righto, the kick from Mateo. It's knocked down by Harris, picked up by Rodney Mill, who's been a good player. Oh, great mark there in the last line of defence. No one behind him to young Mark Rand playing in the back pocket. Rand's left-footed kick out towards the other side of the ground, the members area. Free kick there to Steve Robinson. Maybe an interesting tussle on that wing, Robinson and Shield. Here's a kick to mark to Neville White, streaming down the ground, has a bounce, looks down the ground on a wobbly long punt kick though, up towards Rushbrook, but it's picked up by Solly. He's dispossessed the ball. A free kick to Ben Solly, held on too long by the half-forward flanker from Grange, Jeff Hunter.
Peter, this bloke's played above himself today. He has a brilliant game for a grand final.
Right, the kick from Solly up towards the half-forward line. Short it is. Trying to do too much, wants to get the hand pass on quickly. Cole now has the chance. Long kick up towards the full forward line. That's the first score from West for something like about 15, 16 minutes.
Peter, I just noticed Craig Bowles, the 19th player, is on for West. I'm not sure who's gone off as yet. I haven't been able to pick it up.
Well, we'll check the team places as we go. As we see Lansdowne, a tremendous kick out there, out towards the centre of the wing, centre wing rather, on the member side of the ground. But here's the fastest footballer in Brisbane, in Robinson. Ran too far, a little bit too fast.
Peter, I think it's full forward Hodgson that's gone off and Craig Bowles has gone to full forward.
Well, Coach Jack Atkins indicated the way he thought the game would go when he named 2 big men on the bench in Craig Bowles and Peter Mutimer. And Bowles, who's played at full forward before, is now on the ground at full forward. As we see Graham Jewell playing in the ruck for Grange, kicks up to his captain, John Robinson, hand pass over to White, wants to be quick about getting a kick in, does so up to Long. Long's left foot kick up towards the full forward zone, where it's Black. On a strong mark to Clark, tremendous mark. Randall Black standing toe-to-toe and attempted to punch the ball away, but that's the mark of a champion player. A very good mark under pressure. And let's see what Clark can do with this one. That's through the middle, and Wiston Grange have hit the front. 25 minutes into the third term, and it's Wiston Grange 11-15, or 12-15 rather. 87. Western Districts 12-12-84. And Wiston Grange are right back in this game now with just about 3 to 4 minutes left before three-quarter time. Bob Skilton.
Peter, it's been a great move of the switch of Clark and Jewel. Jewel's been very mobile out at centre-half forward, and Clark's been busy at full forward now as umpire Simmons bounces the ball. Mattia gets a knock forward. Coming down was White. He misses it, but he's well backed up by Guildford to get hand pass across to Long. Long kick towards centre-half back, but it's Solly, Big Ben Solly, who comes out and relieves the pressure for Western.
Noel McGuinness, Wiston Grange were not given that much chance of winning this game. We thought it would be a closer game than people expected, but they're playing tremendous football now.
Peter, I think it's a lot to do with a bit of experience on Wiston Grange's part and the inexperience of the West. West are now panicking, and this is not good as far as their teamwork is concerned. They've got to be able to concentrate on their hand passing to be able to create the man and give it to him.
As Staff puts the ball up high towards the forward line. Over the top was White. Bowles coming in. It's White and Bowles kicked off the ground by Short, but it's offline, and 1 point only results, making the difference now 2 points.
Well, play, as we said before, is quickened up, and the game being played at tremendous pace now in the third quarter. Just a few minutes remaining before three-quarter time as we see the kick out from Lansdowne going straight to Malcolm Gillespie on the half-forward line for Western Districts in front of the members.
Peter, this bloke's got a long kick. He can kick this distance. Distance would be no problem if he kicks normally.
Righto, we watch and wait for Malcolm Gillespie to put the ball up in the air. It's right up towards the forward line, towards the goals, but it's through for a minor score, so it's 1 point the difference. And Western Districts now fighting back after being on the back foot for the best part of the last 20 minutes of this third quarter in the 1977 Grand Final.
Back into play by Lansdowne. It's Mill and Moore. Both players desperate. Moore forcing the ball forward. It's picked up by White at centre-half back. He drives the ball. Knocked on by Jewell. Coming through, though, is Solly. A blind turn by Ben Solly. He picks it up and now drives the ball in towards centre-half forward. Up high was Gillespie. It's punched away by Rand. Bizzle leads in the race for the ball. Hotly pursued by Backwell and Kamali. Backwell pushed Bizzle over. It's called play on as the hand pass comes across now to White. White gets the handball forward. I disagree with umpire Simmons, as I thought that it was too quick. He didn't give White a chance. As we see Cole put the ball down, it's Lansdowne playing a great game at full back for Grange. Again, forcing the ball forward. He's over the top of it, and umpire Simmons has no option but to bounce the ball.
I think Wiston Grange have got West in a lot of trouble now through keeping the continual pressure on their attacking football.
A big knock by White, though. It's taken by Guildford once again. Could possibly have been caught for holding the ball. It'll be a Owen Backwell free kick as Neville White coming through. It wasn't a hard kick, but he did kick the ball out of Backwell's hands, and we find Backwell the recipient of the free kick in the true centre-half forward position about 45 metres out from goal.
Well, this is what we know. We knew that Wiston Grange would have to get right back into the game in the third quarter. Western Districts will have the use of the breeze in the last term. And West now really know they've got a fight in their hands. Grange are playing determined football here at the cricket ground in the grand final. Backwell's kick towards goal is offline, doesn't make the distance. It's picked up there by Bowles. Hand pass over is well done by Kamali, and this will be a goal to Western Districts. And that's the experience of Kamali, 2 seasons with Collingwood. And that's the sort of rounding off of rough edges, Bob Skilton, that VFL football does for these youngsters.
Yes, Kamali could well have easily tried to beat an opponent and kick that one over the shoulder, but he quickly handballed it forward, and it was a very, very timely goal for the Western Districts. A very much needed goal, as we see the scoreboard there with the third term almost finishing. West 13-14-92. A 5-point advantage over Wiston Grange, 12-15-87.
Bob, this is the best standard grand final we've seen for many, many years.
I can't recall one to hand at the moment, Peter, with continual pressure, attacking football. It's got the lot, Peter.
Righto, we're back in the centre of the ground. Three-quarter time almost upon us here at the Gabba. We see Jeff Hunter from Wiston Grange pick up the ball and shoot the ball down towards the... Oh, a great mark! A great mark to Barry Clark, and he's got the better of Randall Black at this stage of the game. So Clark in front at full forward. Has the chance now to regain the lead for his side just on three-quarter time. Straight through the middle, and Clark makes no mistake. So Wiston Grange are back in front and we're seeing a tremendous game of football here at the Gabba. Noel McGuinness.
Peter, I called the fact that Barry Clark is a potential match winner every time he takes the field. All scribes treat him this way. There's sometimes that he comes out and he doesn't fire, but when he's there and he's needed, he lifts his game and he gets his side up. Now the scoreboard at the moment, Wiston Grange 13-15, 93, leading West 13-14, 92. 1 point the difference in favour of Wiston Grange.
Peter, the move has been made now with Taylor going back to full-back onto Clark, and it might be a little bit too late as Clark's been very damaging. The ball's going straight across the ground. It's taken now by Shields of Grange. He forces the ball down to Jewell. Unfortunately, it's Rand. Jewell couldn't get possession. Rand came through. The same happened though. O'Shea picks the ball up for Grange, but O'Shea's kick is offline, out of bounds on the full, and we find the pressure relieved for the moment with the resultant free kick to be taken by Ben Solly.
So Solly has the chance now to kick the ball back into play for West and move them further. There's the three-quarter time siren, and what better could you ask for? A 1 point difference at three-quarter time. Let's look at the scoreboard. Western Districts 13-14, 92. Wiston Grange 13-15, 93. Back at the Brisbane Cricket Ground for the start of the final quarter here in the 1977 QAFL Grand Final. Who'll be premiers, West or Wiston Grange? 1 point the difference at the start of the final term. Bob Skilton, Alice Jesselenko in the commentary, and here we go for the last 30 minutes of football for season 1977 as we see the ball knocked down there and picked up by Rodney Mill of West, down towards the West forward line. Hand pass across, not picked up there by Cole. Backed up by White, though, of Wiston Grange. Gets the ball out towards Guildford, who's had a great game on the half-back line. The ball there intercepted by Mill of West. That's down towards the centre wing position in front of the members' stand. Harris gets a kick up towards the half-forward line. And a great mark, not paid, not held long enough by the Western Districts player, Randall Black. Down the half-forward line, hand pass over here to Rushbrook. Has been a great player. He'll kick for goal. And Grange have kicked the first goal. That's his sixth goal for the game. Big Richard Rushbrook. There he is on your screen. The big fellow for Wiston Grange. Played a dominating part in this grand final to date. And the scoreboard reads Western Districts 13-14, 92. Wiston Grange 14-15, 99. And the Grange are 7 points in front. Can they win the premiership? That's the big question here at the Gabba. Big crowd on hand to see this 1977 grand final here today at the cricket ground. Ball knocked away from the centre by Staff. Down towards the West half-forward line. Cole weaving his way through. Left foot kick up towards the West attacking zone now. Knocked away by Peter Long of Grange. Cole can't control the ball. Bowles gets his boot to the ball and Backwell is marked. And he's about 45 to 50 metres out from goal, directly in front. And Owen Backwell, who's been a good player for West so far in this match, has the chance to put his side back closer to Wiston Grange. Bob Skilton.
Backwell's kick straight down the centre. Umpire right on the goal post, and it's full points. And the difference once again only 1 point. A very timely goal by Owen Backwell, and that's his fifth goal. A great player for, as Peter said, for Western Districts today. And Alec, well, what sort? You couldn't ask for a better start.
Oh, this has been fantastic, Bob. The Grange are playing exactly how West were playing in the first half, and I hope they keep it up because it's going to be a fantastic last quarter.
Back in the centre of the ground, it's Richard Rushbrook, who's had a great day so far. Craig Bowles and Richard Rushbrook. Rushbrook takes the ball, handballs over, knocked forward again by Districts. Rushbrook over the top of the ball again, and it'll be a Grange free kick. Called play on as Rushbrook comes out. Handballs up, his handball was smothered. It comes out to Jewell. Solly comes out with a very strong piece of play, picked up by Dial. Dial's kick, it's a bad piece of defensive play as Dial goes straight across the ground, and we see Hunter all on his own, leading in the race for the ball. Has time to balk back. It's a great tackle by Rod Mill, a great piece of play by Mill over there, and he comes out with the free kick. Plays on quickly and drives the ball down towards the centre wing position where it's Cole. Cole has the ball punched away by Robinson, and there'll be a throw-in on the centre wing position.
Bob, Jack Atkins placed Rodney Mill on the wing about 5 or 6 weeks ago. He's a former state back pocket player, and he's there for his defensive work, and he's been a very good player today for West on that wing, having a very interesting tussle over there on the wing for West.
Pack of players falling there, Peter, and they're desperately trying to get the ball clear at the moment. As umpire Simmons bounces it, it's Rushbrook up high again, couldn't get a clear knock. Taken out with a handball across to Backwell. Backwell across towards Robinson. Robinson using pace to come down. A lot of courage, but a good interception by Rand. Rand's long left foot kick towards the half-forward line. Up high was Dial, knocking the ball away from Hunter. Picked up by Jewell. He throws the ball out in front of him. Coming through now is Rand. Rand with a handball forward. It's close to the boundary line. Nobody can gain possession as we see both Harris and Rand over the top of the ball. Umpire Simmons decides that it's a free kick, and it will be taken by the Western Districts player in Rand, right down on the centre wing position. Rand originally at full back, now playing at centre half back as the change was made. Randall Black, I should say, not Rand. Black's kick in towards centre half forward. The pack flying is long in front. It's taken now by White, but the free kick has been found to Long, and relieves the pressure for Wiston Grange.
Okay, and long hand pass from Long it is. Over towards Rand, down to Robinson. Hand pass back is well done into open spaces. Tackled there by Black, and a free kick to Peter Long it is of Wiston Grange, and Grange have really made this a spectacular grand final. West favoured to win this match. Grange went into the game as underdogs, but they've put up a tremendous performance, and they've taken the game right up to their more highly favoured opponents. Mark there to John Harris. Going to kick long and deep by the indication he gave by holding the ball aloft. Up towards centre half forward. Free kick there to Peter Taylor, now playing at fullback on Barry Clark. Taylor, the Grogan medal winner, started at centre half back and was moved back to fullback during the third quarter. Up towards the centre of the ground now. Knocked down, Cole has the chance. Puts boot to ball. Up towards centre half forward. It's Gillespie up over the top of Bizzle, but can't hold the ball. Long backing up well. Gets the chance to clear. Play on, says the umpire. Moore across to Jewell, and that's good football, intelligent football. Moore goes in towards goal now, and straight through the middle, and that's a goal to Wiston Grange, and they're back 7 points in front. Great play then from Graham Jewell, a hand pass across to Brian Moore. There he is on your screen, who backed up well for the hand pass and streamed down the ground and put the Gorillas' 15th goal on the board, and that's his first goal for the game, but been playing a very constructive role there on the wing for the Gorillas. There's the scoreboard. Wiston Grange 15-15, 105. Western Districts 14-14, 98. 7-point lead to the Grange, and we've been playing approximately 9 minutes in the final turn. Free kick now to Ian Cole of Western Districts in the centre of the ground. Plenty of time left for both these sides. It's still anybody's game, and a great mark there to O'Shea. Plays with confidence. Hand passes out to Neville White. Up towards the half-forward line, but Taylor out in front. Comes through strongly. Wants to get his kick in quickly at this stage. Hand passes it across. That's, well, that's dangerous play in a way, but it's a gamble, and it came off to a degree. Down towards the wing position now. It's all West. Here's Robinson. Picks up one-handed. Gets boot to ball. Up towards Gillespie, can't mark in front of Rand. Picked up by Bizzle, he's pushed off the ball, but Bizzle's still trying. Here comes Norwich, down from the half-forward flank, and the ball now going to go out of bounds in the forward pocket, in West's attacking zone here, and the difference 7 points, and West under extreme pressure now to get back in. Grange have got their tails up and are playing good football. Bobby Skilton.
Throw in around about 10 metres around from the behind post, as we see Mattia and O'Shea. Mattia gets the ball down. There's a pack for him as Kamali dives on top of the ball with O'Shea, but neither player could get the ball clear, and umpire Simmons has no option but to bounce the ball. Pressure really on in the game right now as Mattia gets a knock towards Backwell. Backwell picks a target to clear. A handball is taken out as Long comes out. Kicks the ball off the ground towards Toy in the centre of the ground. Punched away by Norris. Coming down is Black. Black gets a handball across to Dial, and Dial kicks straight down the centre towards the goal square. The pack of players up, knocked away by Lansdowne. Taken now by Backwell. Backwell onto the left foot, and it's through. It's a great piece of play by Alan Backwell. That's his 6th goal. Wonderful piece of play. Good roving as he saw the pack rising. Took it right off the hands of the pack, and the difference now, again, 1 point.
Alex Jesselenko, tremendous finish to what's been a tremendous game of football.
Oh, it's been exciting all the way, Peter, and I'm too excited even to comment on this game at this stage.
Bobby Skilton, anybody's game at this stage. About 20 minutes left in the 77 grand final.
Well, I did say before the quarter started that was the first couple that mattered, but both sides are really throwing themselves into this as we see Jewell coming out. He's been a good player. His Jewell's kick, it's punched away by Craven from Dickey. Taken now by Dickey, knocked forward and picked up by Ben Solly. Solly's kicking towards centre half forward. Almost a good mark to Robinson, but taken clear by Guildford. Guildford, though, is caught when in possession, and the free kick will be taken by John Norwich. Norwich now playing in the centre and puts the ball forward to centre, but there's nobody home for the West as Lansdowne, who has played a great game for the Wiston Grange side at full-back. Gets a handball to his skipper in Robinson. Robinson's kick taken wide on the centre wing position by John Harris. Harris swings the ball in towards the half-forward line. Jewell out in front, and it's a good, strong mark taken by Graham Jewell, the vice-captain of the Wiston Grange side.
Jewell now on the half-forward line, has the chance to put his side for them, going for the short pass towards centre half-forward. Not that short. It's indirect football, but it's given Jeff Hunter a chance perhaps if he can kick the distance. He'd be a good 50 metres out. Has kicked 1 goal to date, and has the chance now to put the Gorillas back in front, or further in front I should say. Taylor in front has been paid the mark. Had 2 grabs at the cherry, and umpire Simmons pays the mark to Western District's centre half-back, now playing at full-back, Peter Taylor. Up towards Bowles, a good strong mark. Craig Bowles came on in the latter stages of the 3rd quarter, replacing Robert Hodgson, the West full forward. And the kick from, there's a free kick to Malcolm Gillespie against Bizzle. So Gillespie has the chance now, right in front of our commentary position. Will kick long and deep, torpedo punt, up towards the full forward line. A mark to Peter Long. Been paid the mark by field umpire Simmons. Done a very good job today here in the 77 grand final at the Gabba. Good mark to Shields. Picked up something for his trouble, and tells Steve Robinson all about it. Kick from Shields up towards the centre wing position. Kick there from Rand, goes up towards Rushbrook, and a great mark to Rushbrook. Lurched, leaned out, and scooped the ball in there. In control at all stages, and a good strong mark to Rushbrook, who's probably been best player on the ground. Bobby Skilton.
Taken now by David Dole. A handball over the top. Not a good handball, but it's taken by Rod Mill. Mill's kick down towards Ben Solly. Solly plays on quickly. Bursts through, and a long kick by Solly out of the half-forward line. Gillespie at the back. Couldn't take the ball. Backward coming through. Knocks it forward. He missed the run over around the ball. Gillespie forces it forward. It's running around the boundary line as O'Shea knocks it on again towards Peter Long. Long can't quite get possession of the ball, but he forces it forward to Bizzle. Bizzle's kicked up into the centre half-forward position. Western District's coming out, punching it. It's taken by Clark. Clark couldn't quite get a clear handball, but Rushbrook it is. He slips the vital stage, swings back again. His kick is smothered. It goes towards Craven, who punched the ball forward. May have been a little bit foolish, and could have easily taken possession of the ball and driven it out of danger. But for the moment, there's a small respite for the Western District side as we find a throw-in. From the throw-in, it's Rushbrook who gets the big knock, taken by Crane. It's a snapshot by Crane, but it's offline, and only 1 point results.
Well, that gives Grange rather a 2-point advantage. That shot from Mick Crane, the half-forward flanker from Grange there, wearing the headband, was knocked over in the 2nd quarter and is playing on the half-forward line. Randall Black kicks out now, back at full-back it would appear, and his kick out towards the centre wing position in front of the members' stand is marked by Staff. Staff's kick down towards Mateo, a great mark. Hand pass on to Kamali, been a quiet player today. Kamali's kick up towards Gillespie, and that's well done. A great mark to Malcolm Gillespie. And a good pass there from Kamali, as we said before. Hasn't done a great deal, but what he's done has been classy, and Gillespie now gets the chance to kick his 3rd goal. He's kicked 2 so far in this match. Let's see if Gillespie can in fact put the Dogs in front. Malcolm Gillespie moving in on an acute angle now. Kicks for goal. Straight through the middle. And the Wiston and West rather are back in front. There he is on your screens. Colin Kamali giving him a tap of encouragement under the cheek. And Gillespie has put Western Districts back in front. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. West 16-14, 110. Wiston Grange 15-16, 106. 4 points in favour of Wests. Back in the centre with umpire Simmons. And this game now been going about 16 minutes. Anybody's game still. The difference now 2 points. 4 points rather in favour of Wests. In the centre of the ground, Toy has the chance. Juggles the ball, kicks it up towards the square. A goal. A goal to Gary Toy from the centre, and Grange will be lifted by that one. There he is, number 12, going back. And the Grange players ecstatic. They know they've got a very good chance, a second to none chance of wresting this premiership from the favourites, Western Districts. So Wiston Grange go to 16-16. Western Districts 16-14, 2 points in favour of Grange. Bob Skilton.
Umpire Simmons in the centre of the ground. It's Bowles and O'Shea. O'Shea up high, but it goes towards the Western District end of the ground. Taken now by Crane. He can't get the ball clear. Picked up by Toy once again. Toy down towards centre half forward. Long's there, but it's a great mark by Short coming across the front of the pack, and Short has the ball in the centre of the ground. Selvin Short puts the ball straight towards centre half forward. It's Mateo up high, can't get possession. Kamali tried to force it, punch forward by Mateo. It's ran over the top of the ball. Gillespie's out there. He can't get it out either. There's players desperately diving on the top of the ball, and we see Robin Bizzle coming out there as umpire Simmons comes in to bounce it. It's centre half forward position as we see Mateo come out with a handball towards Kamali. He can't get clear. Now gets the handball across, but it's intercepted by Wiston Grange, who drive the ball forward. The bounce of the ball doesn't favour Jewell. Ben Solly picks the ball up. He runs around Jewell, goes onto the left foot, hooks the ball back, but it's Crane in front of the pack, and Mick Crane takes a timely mark for Wiston Grange.
He's on the ball now, Bob, obviously, Crane, and Grange have put him on the ball to give them some drive now. They're in defence at this stage. West pressing hard as we see White put the ball over the centre of the ground up towards his captain, Coach Robinson, number 16. Takes off like a terrier after the ball, but he's hotly pressed by two players. Play on calls the umpire. Craven gets a left foot kick around there now, and a great mark there to Peter Long. And Wiston Grange playing on quickly now through Long up towards the half-forward position, but it's Craven, who's been a good player really for West today. Has had 3 goals kicked on him by Dickey, resting in that forward pocket as the second rover, but Mick Craven certainly has tried very hard and has played very well. Mark there to John Norwich, who's obviously now playing on the ball. Played on the half-back line for most of the game, and he's had 3 or 4 kicks in this quarter. Play on, says the umpire, as Bowles goes through heavily. Here's Rodney Mill now. Going to be caught with the ball, dispossessed. Play on, says the umpire. Brian Moore has the chance, drives the ball up with the left foot kick up towards Craven again, who marks solidly there in defence for Western Districts. And the time ticking away now as it heads towards the 20-minute mark of the final term here in the 1977 Grand Final. Who'll win? Just about 10 minutes play remaining, and the score's very, very close. Just 2 points in it. Wiston Grange 2 points in front of West. Brian Moore the kick. Short pass over towards Jewell, who's about 50 metres out in front of the members now. Short pass round. Play on, says the umpire, not picked up cleanly. Here's Dickey now. Goes for the goal. And a strong tap away there. Well spoiled by Terry Starr. Dickey perhaps could have been tempted then to go for the shot at goal, Bob Skilton.
I would have thought so. Whether he just tried to steer it through or not, or he was trying to look for Clark, it's hard to say. But I'd have been inclined to think at that stage that I would have tried to drive it right through, as we see the kick in from Terry Starr. Starr, long kick, but a great mark by Gary Toy, the centre man for Wiston Grange. He kicked the last goal, plays on quickly, looking for O'Shea. O'Shea made to earn that kick. He's very sorry and sore as we see Peter Taylor come out and really made sure that if he was going to mark the ball, he wasn't going to get it easy. O'Shea on the half-forward flank, around about 50 metres out from goal.
No one marking these Wiston Grange players, Bob. He could give a quick hand pass here to Rushbrook if he's quick enough, but he's going to kick towards goal, up towards the full forward zone for the Wiston Grange side. And a mark to Clark.
The boundary umpire decides that it went out of bounds before Clark took that mark. And from the throw-in we see Jewell hook it over the back. Hunter overruns the ball. Almost a free kick to Hunter, yes. Umpire Simmons decides that Hunter had his hands on the ball as Owen Backwell came through and tried to kick the ball away. And we see Jeff Hunter well within scoring distance.
Alex Jesselenko, Grange seem to be finishing the stronger of the two sides.
Yes, as I said, at three-quarter time, if they could keep up that similar type of game, the quick handball and the big long kick, they would be well in this game. And with that goal there now, I think they've got a very good chance of taking this game out. That's his second goal, Jeff Hunter, number 9. There he is, the half-forward flanker from Grange. An exciting player, very quick player, and very dangerous around the goals. We've just seen then he's put the ball through straight for Wiston Grange's 17th major score. There's the scoreboard. Wiston Grange 17-17, 119, and then 9 points clear of West 16-14, 110.
The ball in the centre, pushed forward by Crane. Here comes Short through now. Gets a bit onto his ball, gets the ball onto his boot rather, and it's play on, says the umpire. Gillespie dispossessed of the ball. It's out now towards Ian Cole, but Grange are coming through strongly. Cole's got the chance now. Puts the ball high up in the air. And out of bounds. No score to West there as the ball came off the top of the pack. Camorley and Lansdowne and Hector Robinson waiting for the crumbs, which didn't eventuate. Bob Skilton.
Peter, West can't quite get their game flowing now. Wilson Grange putting on a lot of pressure, and West are really struggling to get flow into their game. As we see that knockout, Richard Rushbrook tried to kick the ball off the ground, forced out by Rushbrook, but umpire Simmons, having a perfect view of that, saw that Rushbrook threw the ball out, and here's the danger man again. Owen Backwell to have a shot at goal. Backwell has kicked 6 goals so far in this game. He's well within kicking distance, only about 35 to 40 metres out from goal, on a reasonably acute angle, but Backwell's generally a very, very good kick. A lot of pressure on with this. Backwell's kick. Goal umpire does not move, and it's right through the centre, and once again there's only 3 points between these two sides, Alex.
Yes, it's been a fantastic game, Bob. I'm very surprised with the standard up here. It's the first time I've seen Queensland football or Brisbane football, and it's a very good standard of football.
Well, I must admit, I'm surprised at the way these players have continued this pressure right through to the last quarter. There's the board reading, 17-14 West, Wiston Grange 17-17, as umpire Simmons bounces the ball in the centre of the ground again. Up high was Westbrook, who's done a great job in the ruck, forcing the ball forward. Now is Mattia across the Cole. Cole is held too high. No, umpire Simmons decides the other way, and the free kick will go to Shields of Wiston Grange. Shields' kick, he goes wide to the half-forward flank looking for Robinson. He juggles the ball a couple of times and takes a timely mark for his side.
John Robinson, the captain coach of Wiston Grange, he'd be a very happy man to win this premiership. There's Wiston Grange now through Moore, trying to get away from Mill. It's Western Districts here. Camorley moves out, going to be caught with the ball, but gets his kick away. But Toy chips in nicely there. Bit of constructive player, left foot kick up towards the Wiston Grange full forward zone. Knocked away now where it's Hunter who has the top position. Turns around from Craven. Caught with the ball over the shoulders. In the back, I think he's going to pay, yes. Well, I think you could say that Ian Cole a bit unlucky back here, Bobby Skilton. I thought he was tackled a bit high, but Grange are really tackling fiercely now, and they're not going to let this 3-point advantage slip away without a real fight.
Well, Hunter's a very good kick, Peter, and this could get the distance. Has already kicked 2 goals so far in this game. The long left foot kick, it's a wobbly one, it's offline coming through. We saw Black up in front of the pack, it was punched away from Black, and it goes over the line, and the throw-in will eventuate about 10 metres around from the behind post, favouring Wiston Grange.
About 23 minutes gone, 24 minutes gone here in the final term. Must be about 6 or 7 minutes only remaining. And it's still a 3-point lead to Wiston Grange. Who'll win the premiership? Well, not long to go now. Camorley a mark, out towards Mill. Going to get his kick in down towards the half-forward line. Up goes Norwich, no one down behind for West though, and it's all Wiston Grange here as Rand backs up nicely and gets a long left foot kick up towards the centre wing position in front of the members' stand. Well tackled out of the road there by Short it is. Crane gets the ball away now, but it's all West here. It's Dial going to come around, get his kick in. Up towards Solly's been a good player today for West, hasn't stopped trying, and he gets the ball out towards Gillespie. A great mark to Malcolm Gillespie. And he'll settle play down now, I'm sure. And here's 2 players here. 2 players waiting. There's one of them going to have to take this mark for sure. It's Ian Cole. And I thought Gillespie, Bob, may not have seen Cole and Camorley down the ground looking for the pass.
And one thing for sure, the Wiston Grange players didn't see them. They were well out. And it's a poor kick by Cole. It's offline and only 1 point results. And now we see 2 points between these sides. And in recent weeks, we've seen a draw in the Rugby League, and we've seen a draw in the Victorian Football League. We're going to see a draw here, Peter.
Well, you never know. And it would be great for the crowd in one way, I suppose. Not so great for the players if they had to come back and turn a similar exhibition on. It's been magnificent football here today. Certainly what the game's all about. And a free kick now going to Brian Moore.
Moore's kick goes wide to the flank where Guildford has made position, and he takes the easy mark He plays on now, driving the ball towards centre half forward, and it's Graham Jewell up, punched away by Taylor, taken by Hunter. He gets a handball across to Crane. Crane's handball goes through to Moore. Moore back to Crane once again. He swings around on a handball to Robinson. Robinson goes short, and a beautiful pass from Robinson hits Graham Jewell right on the chest. Jewell goes for the short pass. Poor play in this position, I think, yes, and Ben Solly it is to take a mark. A long hand pass by Solly into the centre of the ground. He finds Kamali. Kamali turns around and drives the ball wide towards the half-forward flank, and it's a Western District mark through the agency of Heck Robinson. Robinson puts the ball down further, looking for Craig Bowles. Punched away by Rand. Coming through now is Norwich. Norwich bumped off the ball by Guildford. The pack of players forming once again. Nobody can gain possession, and umpire Simmons comes in to bounce the ball on the half-forward flank for Western District.
Okay, and we're entering time on here at the Brisbane Cricket Ground. Only 5 minutes remaining roughly as Cole the ball. Can't get away from the pack. Play on, says the umpire. Has met heavily there. Yes, a free kick for Ian Cole around the neck. And Western District's now desperate to get back in front. Ian Cole, the rover, has the kick. He's about 55 metres out on the grandstand side of the ground. Comes around towards the goal. Almost a kick there. 3 for a point. Hit the post. Kick from Colin Kamali. Almost made the distance, that kick from Ian Cole. Just 1 point the difference. And Bobby Skilton, you could be right yet. We could yet have our draw in our hands as we had yesterday in the VFL and, of course, last week in the Sydney Rugby League. And you're watching the Brisbane Australian Rules Grand Final on Channel 7. A great mark there to Steve Robinson. He'll drive the ball down towards the Western District's attacking zone now. Pack of players fly. No one can mark the ball. Play on. And it's Backwell up here. No one can see the ball, but it's Lansdowne. Has played a magnificent game at fullback. A great game from John Lansdowne, and if Grange defeated today, it won't be his fault. There's a ball, mark up here from Lansdowne, the kick from Lansdowne, rather, marked by Long, up towards Robinson now. And they can scent victory, Woolston Grange. There's the hand pass from City Guildford. 299 games and going strong. Big hand pass is not well received by his teammate at the ground. Hand pass coming down here now, and these are desperation hand passes. Play on, calls the umpire. Over the top here to Cole. Western District's now coming forward. And there's Bowles now. Takes a mark, and he's about 60 metres out on the half-forward flank. Craig Bowles kicks up towards the full forward zone. Up in the air, and there's White. A great mark to Ross White, number 17 of Western Districts, and this could be the sealer. Bobby Skilton.
We just said that John Lansdowne has played a magnificent game at fullback, and that if he's made a mistake, that might be the only one, as White's ticked. Umpire full point from Western Districts to hit the front. It's a 5-point margin favouring Western Districts as time starts to run out now for Woolston Grange. All players are desperately tired, and they're almost every player can be commended on the way they've gone about this game. Alex Jezelenko.
Yes, it's been a fantastic game, Bob. Just talk about Victorian football being exciting. Boy, this is very exciting.
Absolutely. There's the scoreboard, 18-16, 124. Sorry, Bob. Woolston Grange, 17-17, 119. 5 points the difference now. We're in time on. And we're only minutes away now from knowing who the premiers will be. Over the top, it's picked up now by Jewell. A straight kick for Grange would do it. Up towards Black, knocked away there from Barry Clark. It's picked up by Craven. His kick now is out of bounds on the full. And Woolston Grange will take the penalty free kick through Brian Moore. Players have put up a magnificent exhibition of football here today. It's been a close, hard-fought game. Some excellent football throughout the day. Kept the big crowd here at the Gabba on their toes. And here's Brian Moore's kick. Out of bounds on the full. And Western District supporters breathe a sigh of relief. Is it going to be their first premiership? They haven't played in the grand final since 1967, and they haven't won the flag since 1954. 5 points the difference. West 18-16, Grange 17-17. Kick from Randall Black down the grandstand side of the ground, up towards the centre wing. Big pack of players there. Hand pass to nowhere from Hector Robinson it is. Grange coming back now. Dial has the chance, spills it here, out towards Hunter. This could be it, but it's knocked down now. Backwell has the chance with Richard Rushbrook going out here. Dickie's going to try, but he's smothered there by Black and Craven. Out towards Crane, caught with the ball. And David Dial, a bone-shattering tackle, wrapped him up, ball and all, and Dial, well, you see how hard it was, because Dial's just as badly off as the man that had the ball. Can West hold on? Long kick from Dial, torpedo punt out towards the centre of the ground. Bowen takes the ball. Play on, says the umpire. Stacks on the mill. The field umpire will move in and bounce. We've been going 29 minutes now in the final term.
5 points between the sides. Solly gets the ball down, taken by Robinson, handball to Guildford. Guildford's kick goes wide to the half-forward flank, and it's Dickey takes a great mark coming across. Dickey's about 50 yards out from goal. Time running out. He's kicked 3 so far. Dickey's kick in towards the goal square. The pack playing on a great mark by Peter Taylor. A very timely mark by the Grogan medal winner right in the goal square. Taylor goes, there's the fire. The Western Districts have won the flag.
There it is. Western Districts, the Bulldogs are premiers in Australian football for 1977.